Okay, Sarvagya, go ahead with your question.
So hi Rajiv, yes, thank you so much first of all, behalf of all of us for conducting this session. My question is that I confirmed with my employer that once the lottery tickets were out, lottery results were out,
Mm-hmm.
that what is my status. So I reached out to HR first, not to the attorney my company is working with.
Mm-hmm.
And my HR, first day when I asked him on this week's Monday, he said that the status is still submitted on the
Mm-hmm.
USCIS portal.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday I reached out to him again, and then he sent me the screenshot again that my status is still submitted. So I just wanted to know, like, does it take time for status to update on the USCIS website, or how does that work?
Okay, so basically, the what I remember, Sarvagya, there are always these little loops and twists that are easy to miss. Immigration law is like that. The way I understood it is you're either selected or you are not selected. If it says you are submitted, that means you are going to be for the next round of the lottery if there is one. Okay, but your status is none of these three, right?
It is submitted still.
So submitted simply means that you're not selected for this round. That's the way I understand
Okay.
it. And if there is a second lottery, and let me also put that issue to rest, the issue is there going to be a second lottery? And the answer is, I don't know. But I think this year, chances are more that we might have a second lottery because of the condition in the technology industry. Not everybody is in the tech industry, I recognize that, but it has an effect on the overall H-1B numbers, right? So uh, if uh, if people 100 people applied for the lottery but only 10 people actually filed the H-1B, then those 90 H-1Bs are available for the second round. And I think it's going to be a second round. But then again, I have colleagues who tell me, well, there were 400,000 applicants, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is how many applicants did USCIS think were enough for this round. And if they overestimated, they'll have to do a second round. It doesn't matter how many total applicants there are. So that's the way I see it. Probably, Sarvagya, there might be a second round. I hope so for everyone's sake. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And then, do you think so? Is there any time frame when they release the second round? How does that work?
Last time, I think they did it within, I'm terrible at this. I'll have to ask somebody in my office if they remember. But within a couple of weeks, I think it was like, I don't know. Let me see if Anna knows. I'll call her up.
Sure.
I should have invited some people from our office to be here, but I forgot. I kind of did this in a hurry. I wasn't planning on, I was just trying to make sure that people who were sending me messages didn't have to repeat the same question over and over again. And that's part of the reason I'm recording this call, so that we can put out an audio recording. Why don't you do me a favor, Sarvagya? Just drop
Sure.
me an email or just drop me a LinkedIn. I'm sure you're connected to me. Just a LinkedIn
Yes.
reminding me to let you know approximately when is the next lottery as per the last year's numbers. I'll let you know. I'll ask Anna. Okay.
Understood, Rajiv. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Good luck. I'm just
Thank
unmuting
you.
people for another 4 minutes. And then I want to just cover the 2, 3 areas that I wanted to cover, and then we'll go into our regular question answers again. So I'll move
Thanks
Sarvagya.
again, Rajiv.
You're welcome. I move Sarvagya out. I'm just going in the order I see everybody. I might have time for one more question. Avinash, Avinash, go ahead, please. Avinash. Hanji, you have a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I believe so, Rajiv. You can go ahead with your recording and
ठीक है.
let's give us minutes after your recording so we can ask you questions.
Absolutely.
Maybe you clear
Absolutely.
during your recording.
Absolutely. So I'll start the recording a little early. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to move you back.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So Let me start with what I was going to, I'm trying to remember what I had decided I was going to talk about. I kind of remember off the top of my head. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the H4 EAD case. I put out a recording for this. And basically, what had happened was the H4 EAD program was challenged back in 2015, and through many convoluted maneuvers through the courts, it ended up getting dismissed yesterday or day before yesterday by the DC court. Okay. And I looked at the ruling of the court. I made some comments about that in our audio release. I did an audio this morning around 4:30 a.m. I talked about why the court had declined the challenge to the H4 EAD. I don't want to go into the details. You already have those. To save time and to preserve time to answer questions, I would rather go into questions sooner. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Second thing I wanted to talk about was, my God, people have driven me nuts with this question. Oh, USCIS has changed the law. You can now come and find a job on a tourist visa. Wait a minute. That was always the policy. There is no change. There is nothing different from yesterday, which you are talking about today. And some of the biggest outlets in India, as well as media outlets, India as well as US, have reported that as though that's a big news. It is not a big news. You can always come to the United States, but if you come on a tourist visa or a business visa, you should tell the officer at the airport why you are coming. That's the first point of failure. If you say, oh, I'm just coming for a visit, but it's your intention to appear for an interview, that can be considered to be fraud or misrepresentation. Okay. That's one thing. That was always the law. That is still the law today. Second, if you try to change status within the United States, the same issue can be raised. Hey, you came on a tourist visa. Why are you trying to convert to an H-1B? Okay. Now, there used to be a law in the book called 30, 60, 90-day rule. Then it became a 90-day rule, which basically said if you try to convert status soon after entering, that means you had a bad intention. You are barred from entering the United States forever. Biden administration took that off the books, but the basic intention still remains. So guys, there is no change in the law. The law is still, you can enter to do an interview, but please declare your intention at the airport. They might turn you back. That's also a fact. And if you actually get selected for something, try not to change status. It's better to go for visa stamping. Okay. Of course, that's something for your lawyers to decide. That was the second thing I wanted to discuss. The third thing I want to discuss real quickly is curricular practical training. And this is particularly important because this has gone through an evolution over the last few years and people are still unclear about what's going to happen. Now, you all know that there's a program called curricular practical training, right? And the time you spend on curricular practical training after OPT has no bearing on your ability to work. Okay, so you go through the OPTs and then you go back to school and you get a curricular practical training. It has no bearing on the fact that you already used your OPT, because curricular practical training by definition is a program that's giving you credits for your work. It has nothing to do with optional practical training. Okay, so that's another point to remember. Now, day one CPT, what people call day one CPT, basically that means I can get curricular practical training as soon as I start the course. What are the conditions for that? Condition number one, it has to be a graduate program. It cannot be an undergraduate program. Condition number two, the university records should clearly reflect, whether it's their website or their educational material, that clearly says, we will not let you finish your degree unless you do this practical training. So it should be an integral part of the practical training, of the degree. Okay. So curricular practical training requires, number one, graduate program, number two, integral part of your coursework, and number three, typically the school should sign a cooperative agreement with your employer, which can be a simple document, just 2 pages, or more complicated, 20 pages, but the basic idea is the same, that the employer understands you are getting credits for your work They'll make sure you work in your own area of expertise. So for example, if you're doing a master's degree in computer science, the employer agrees that you will only work in projects related to computer science. Those were the three things I wanted to cover. Now, one important aspect I want to mention is people said, is this a good way to work and advance in career if I don't get picked for an H-1B? The answer is sure, yes, it's legal. The evolution of this program is about 4 years ago, USCIS hated this program. They tried to create every possible problem for CPT holders. They began to realize, in many law firms, including us, we resisted that idea that somehow CPT was an illegal program. If it is in the books, it is allowed, unless you tell me why not. Okay? But this is what I do advise people. I say, look, first of all, if you are going to go into CPT, please make sure it's an advancement or an adjunct to your career. So let's say you have a degree in information systems and you want to perhaps be more involved with data science. So having a master's degree in data science is definitely a part of your career. It's an adjunct into what you already know, or at least an advancement. Okay. Similarly, if you have a degree in computer science and you want to do machine learning, artificial intelligence, you take a master's degree that is in automation, for example. Okay. So I think your selection of the course should be such that it can be demonstrated to be an advancement or an adjunct, a help to your career. That's all I had to say about CPT. Okay. To summarize, CPT has requirements. It must be a master's degree program. It must be integral to the program. It must involve getting a signed agreement with the employer. Is there any particular salary you're supposed to be paid? No, there isn't. So this is a little bit more flexible than many other programs. Okay, with this, let's get started on the H-1B questions. Okay, so one of the questions asked is, what are my alternatives if I have an H-1B, gone through the lottery, couldn't do anything? Well, in addition to CPT, depending upon your resume, if you have a fantastic resume, we could go into something like an O1 visa, where we can demonstrate roughly your top 10% in your field, nationally or internationally. You could, if you are from Australia, you could look at E3 visa. If you are from a treaty country like Canada or Pakistan, you could look into an E2 visa if you have a couple $100,000 to $200,000 to invest. So all these options are already there, and most people are aware of them, including EB5. Some people are willing to invest $800,000 or $1,050,000. You can look at that option. Okay. I don't think I missed anything, but let's go into the question answers. I think that's more important. Let me pull Sejal up. Okay. Sejal, go ahead.
Hi, Rajiv.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you so much for this session.
Ji.
My question was, my name did get selected this year, but is it possible that another employer can file my case?
Okay, so this is a very important question. I think it's a frequently asked question. Let me explain to you the contours, or the how do we draw a map around this issue. The contours are, number one, lottery cannot be transferred. You cannot transfer lottery 1 through employer X to employer Y. However, if employer X were to proceed to get you an H-1B, you can then transfer that H-1B to employer Y. So the approvals can be transferred, but the lottery cannot be. Are you clear so far, Sejal?
Yes.
Okay. Now come the problem with the start date of the H-1B. Okay. Most H-1Bs are kicking off on October 1st. That's the government's fiscal year and the H-1B trigger date. If your old employer, employer X, after getting you the H-1B approval, sends your H-1B revocation before October 1st, government says you are back in the lottery. You've lost everything. So you have to get the H-1B approval and have it stay approved till October 1st. Okay.
Okay.
Thereafter, you can transfer to any employer you like. Remember, you have that 60-day grace period also.
Right. Okay.
Make
Understood.
sense?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rajiv.
You are welcome. Okay. So let's see, move to listening. I don't know how these hands are being shown. I would rather go in the order people logged in, but it doesn't look like there is any particular order. So do I just keep going in the order I see everyone? I guess so. Rohit, I'm just pulling you up. Rohit, go ahead, please. Rohit Kanguru. Rohit Garu. He is not talking to me today. I can understand that. Okay, Shubham. I am not surprised that you are not willing to talk to me. Shubham, go ahead, please. I can hear you. Oh, Shubham is gone too. What is happening here? Second Shubham, another Shubham. 48 are asking to see. Shubham Kulkarni. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Mr. Rajiv. Thank you so much for
Oh, don't call me
having
Mr.
this.
Don't call me Mr. Just call me Rajiv, please.
Okay. My simple question here is my application was not selected this year. And my application was filed through BAL service. But I'm just not sure if it was declined or it was not selected. So how do I get this update?
Okay, so because this application has, you are just the beneficiary, you are not the applicant, so only the employer or your lawyers can tell you. Okay, you don't have access to the results yourself. I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Because I just had access to a portal where it was mentioned like my application was filed and it was not selected. I also got an email, but I was just like confused of like was there a reason it was declined? Was it declined or was it just not selected?
Not selected means that it's just not selected. But you have access to the portal. I didn't know that. I thought it's only the employers and the lawyers who have access to the portal. Or are you talking about the company's portal of some kind?
Oh no, it is it's Cobalt. It's called Cobalt, so I'm not sure.
Probably USCIS. It's not USCIS. Probably it's either they are connecting to the API or they are just updating it manually.
Maybe.
Yeah. So.
But thank you so much for answering my question.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Atharva. Let's go to Atharva. What happened here? Yeah, Atharva, go ahead.
Hi,
please.
Rajiv.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for letting me ask a question.
Sure.
Now, my question is partly regarding H1B and OPT as well.
Okay.
It is not for me, but it is for a friend. He has an exam right now, so he's not able to come on the call.
No problem.
He had previously come to the US maybe like 2 years ago, but he failed to get a job after his master's degree. And he consumed all of his 90 days of unemployment.
Okay.
Now he has come to the US again in the hopes of getting a H1B after his second degree. But unfortunately, in this round, he did not get selected. I think it is still under the selected criteria and not under not selected criteria.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask, what are his options? Can he still apply for his OPT and get like 1 year more extended and maybe like STEM extension after the first year?
Okay, I'm a little lost. Let me see if I get this right. Your friend was here. They already took OPT once, right?
Yes, I think he had applied for it the last time he had come to the US.
Okay, so you're not going to get OPT again unless you go to the next higher level. So if you got OPT at bachelor's, you'll get OPT again at master's, or if you go to PhD from master's, you'll get again at master's. However, if you might get 2 year STEM extension if you have not used it before.
But he does have to be on OPT to apply for STEM extension.
That is correct. So he needs to be on OPT. So he needs to be in a program that gets him OPT. And from there, he gets 2 year extension of STEM OPT. Other than that, CPT is the only option that we just discussed. Okay.
Okay. So apart from this, there's only one option right now for him is to go to another level of education. That would be a PhD.
That is correct. Yes.
All right, Rajiv.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Good luck. Let's
Have a
bring
good one. Bye-bye.
you too, sir. Let's bring up Viral. I'm trying to bring people up, but it just Viral, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
All good. I have two questions. One you already answered, but I lost in middle of that.
Okay.
Can I ask again if
Of
you
course.
allow me?
Of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So my company has filed my H1B, and I filed from your attorney, like from Anna. And with the grace of God, it has been selected.
Why are you in this call? You should be talking to me privately, Viral.
sorry. But yeah, so it has been selected.
Acha.
But my cloud construction, like that's my company. They find another guy who has better experience than me. So they just called me today, and they asked me like to find some another company.
You can tell them that I can't transfer the lottery, but I can transfer approval.
Okay.
So if I'm approved, I can go somewhere else.
Okay.
All right.
So they asked me like, so how many? So do they have to pay me until that or not?
No, because see, remember, this is a very important question. When does the company's obligation to pay you begin?
October?
Yes, it is October 1st. But after October 1st, if you think about it, how many days do they have to start paying you? First of all, remember, under H1B rules, if you say, look, I can't join you for another week after October 7th, they can accommodate you. As long as you give them something in writing, they can accommodate you. But the Department of Labor regulations say you have to start paying the employee on October 1st and after when the report for duty is ready. Okay. Or within 30 days if they are coming from outside USA, or within 60 days if they are in the US from the date of the approval. In this case, I would say it's October 1st. So there is some flexibility there on when they can start paying you. Plenty of flexibility, I would say. So if they apply for an H1B for you and you get an approval, you're good to go. You can transfer that approval. Okay.
Oh, that's really great.
Yep.
And thank you so much. And one more question.
Of course.
So if they apply my I-140, basically, and if my I-140 gets approved also, and let's say my H1, for example, my H1 doesn't approve, so can I stay in United States?
Okay. Getting an I-140 approval does not earn you the right to stay in the United States unless you happen to be from a country that is current, when you can file I-140 and 485 together. Okay. I-140 approval alone does not give you the right to stay in the United States. You need an H-1B for that.
Got it.
Good luck.
Got it. Thank you so much, sir.
You're
Big
welcome.
fan.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, let's see. Khan Sahab, I finally found you. Okay, let's...
Hello, sir. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Sir, my question is related to OPT STEM extension. At the time of graduation, my program was not like under the STEM, but now it's STEM designated. So does it make me also eligible for a STEM extension for 24 months? Because on study in US website, it says that for a STEM extension, it should be at the time of applying for extension, not rather than degree receiving time.
At the time of applying, yeah. I would be surprised if that was not the law. So in my view, if the program now qualifies and you are applying now, as far as I know, you should be able to get your STEM extension.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And if you find out something different, do you call yourself Ahmad? What do you call yourself?
Yeah, I call myself Ahmad.
Okay. So Ahmad, if you find out, I was hoping that you don't call yourself Muhammad. That's kind of a little bit of an elevation in status, no? So if you find out something different, would you let me know, please? Because I want to make sure I don't give bad advice.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I would.
Good
Thank
luck.
you so much, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's get Amritesh. Amritesh, allowed to speak. You are here. Yeah, Amritesh, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Oh, awesome. Give me 1 second. I was actually in the office, so I wasn't sure I was going to get picked. So, number one question, I think you already answered that. No matter what, approval needs to be the first criteria to transfer, and pay stub needs to be second criteria to get picked, correct?
I'm not sure I understand, Mr. Singh.
In terms of, I am currently in my current company, I was trying to transfer out of that. I got selected for H1B. I'm wondering, like, is it possible once I get my approval, I can switch to my next company or not without a pay stub?
Okay, hold on 1 second. First of all, your H1B doesn't, even if it gets approved, it doesn't kick in till October 1st, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your question is, can I transfer employers without before October 1st, because I won't have any pay stubs under H1B, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So theoretically, you don't have to wait till October 1st to transfer your H1B. You can transfer it earlier. So far, USCIS has not raised any objections to these cases. The only danger is, what if the old employer revokes your H1B before October 1st?
Okay.
That's the only danger. And really, they should not have any objection, because their obligation to pay you doesn't begin till October 1st.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm just in like the middle of in the process of being at a different company, so was wondering like what are the criteria. And I guess one more support question is, in terms of premium processing, how does that come into play, or is there special criteria for premium processing if I request it from my current company?
They just have to pay extra money. In India, we used to call it bribes. Here we call it premium processing.
Gotcha. Okay, so like as long as I can also bear those costs.
No.
Okay.
You cannot. This is also a good law to remember, guys. You cannot bear any part of the H1B expenditure, but you can pay for the premium processing if the premium processing is being requested because you want it and not the employer. So if I were you, I would send an email to the employer that under the law I'm allowed to pay for it because it is for my convenience. I would very much appreciate if you do it.
Oh, so that means that I can I can ask my lawyers that, hey, I would like to be selected for the premium processing.
Yes.
Would they need to contact my employer in terms of employer, meaning like my manager and
almost
stuff?
certainly.
Or like,
almost certainly. Okay. If I were the lawyer, I would never take a step like that without checking with the employer.
No, checking with the employer is fine, and more so in terms of like the management or the team I report to, kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, no, they'll have to check with whoever is the representative of the employer. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so let's go to Shreyas. Why are people not? Hang on, Shreyas. 1 second. Let me try to figure this out. Yeah. I don't know if the queue is moving with new people coming. No. I think it's moving in the chronological order. Shreyas, go ahead, please. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Firstly, thanks for pulling me up. So I think today in the news, it said that H1B spouses can work.
Yeah, that's such a pile of baloney. It's it's so badly reported because all that has happened is there was a challenge lodged to the H4EAD program back in 2015, April 2015. These guys have been fighting for over 8 years to try to kick out the H4EAD program. They lost. The court said, no, this program is valid. Okay. So there's no new rule. The only thing is that the H4EAD program survived a challenge. That's all. Okay.
Okay. So still H1B holders should have an I-140 for H4 to work, right? That's the only way.
Absolutely. Actually, there's two ways. Yeah. There are two ways. It's a little technical, but the idea is that you must be advanced enough in your green card process There are two ways. One, even if the I-140 is not approved, but I'm trying to remember that rule is hardly ever used. But the H-1B was extended beyond 6 years using PERM pending 1 year. Then the spouse can also get H-4EAD. That's the second condition. That hardly ever occurs. Okay.
Yeah. And so when is a good time, like basically, so my company is taking time to do the I-140, right? So ideally, I mean, before the 6th year, right? When should it be filed and for the whole thing to, kick in?
Okay.
And I know that the process is quite long. It takes around 2 years.
Right. So your question is, what is my deadline to start my green card process in order to avoid any interruption in my work? Correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
So the answer is, I would strongly recommend you start your green card in the beginning of your 5th year of H-1B. Okay. Beginning of the 5th year. So about 2 years gap is a very comfortable gap.
Got it. Yeah. So last year will be a little risky.
It is. Well, the risk is only this, that you will then have to go to India and wait for for the time to be ripe so that you can come back on H1 extension. You can work from India though. Nothing stopping you from doing that.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Vishnu, can you unmute yourself or do I have to do it? Vishnu, go ahead, please. Vishnu Kanani. No, he decided to leave us. Okay. I wouldn't talk to me either, sir, if I were you. I understand your reticence. Okay. Allowed to speak. Shivanand. Mr. Reddy, you're on. He's gone too. What is the matter with people? Nidhi ji, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Sarita. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I had one question. So this was my third chance for the H1B lottery.
Okay.
And it didn't get picked up.
Okay, hang on. Your voice is breaking up or my ears are going. One of the two. So let's just rule out my ears. Get closer to the mic so I can hear you.
Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Is it better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry for that.
No problem.
So this was my last chance for my H1B lottery, and it did not get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And my visa expires on the 6th of June.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to opt for day one CPT, but I was concerned like if it will create any RFE issues if my lottery gets picked up in future. That's why I'm doing day one.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that, Nidhi. Go for it. Okay.
Okay.
Anything?
Okay. So because, for example, I extend my enroll for the day one CPT university and get enrolled in a course. So it is not exactly a matching to. So I did my master's in electronics engineering. So I'm thinking to do day one CPT on project management, something like that in management side. So that was another concern I had. Like, is it problematic or it has to still to be the technical field?
My advice is to stick with something that enhances your career. Okay. I gotta go on. All right. I gotta go on.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
And
sorry. I that and was a little too late. Okay. I think next one was Princey, or was it Vincy? Let's go with Princey. Princey, go ahead, please.
Yes. Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for picking me up.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is regarding the H1B. So currently, I am studying and I'm doing an internship, but I got a full-time job, which got delayed. Like my joining is from December. Mm-hmm. So now my H1B got picked up. So I wanted to know that is there any way to know whether if my lottery is picked up on master's cap or in regular cap? And if it is picked up in master's cap, and if I graduate in December, is it going to nullify, like how is my graduation date going to hamper my H1B approval?
Okay, that's a very important question. And it's also a question that can lead to some really unfair consequences. So here's the law. You have 90 days to file an H-1B after the government says, okay, from this date you have 90 days, right?
Yeah.
You have to finish your degree in those 90 days if you are a master's degree candidate. Now, finishing the degree means you have finished all the requirements, thesis, coursework, everything is finished. The university should be able to give you a letter saying that all degree requirements are completed. Only the formal conferral of degree remains. If you are able to meet that requirement, you are good. In case you're not able to do that, now we have to look at whether you are a bachelor's degree selectee or a master's degree selectee. If you're a master's degree selectee, you have lost the lottery. Because if you were picked up in the master's degree quota, they will not allow you to participate in that lottery. Because as I pointed out yesterday to people in our conversation, one of the postings, the master's degree people have about 17+% better chances of getting selected. So therefore, it's unfair for somebody to continue if they got selected in the master's degree quota. Now, the last question you had was, how do I find out? I have no clue. I think you're going to have to check with your lawyers. I'll have to check with our team. See, they isolate me from anything but the purely legal issues. So I'll have to check. I actually have to go and check procedures with our team. If you're not able to find out, reach out to me. I'll find out for you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. So when is that 90-day start? Like, is there any date?
Yeah,
like,
they give you a date. I don't remember what the date is. Is it April 1st? I think it could be April 1st. April 1st, you have 90 days, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Good luck.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Vinci.
Hi, Vinci. How are you?
I'm good, sir. We filed, like my company files my H1 through your company.
Oh,
But
Vinci, why are you
unfortunately, I'm
talking to
not
me?
getting-
Don't talk to me on this call. Talk to me separately.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But unfortunately, my H1B is not getting picked, and I am working on F1 CPT right now.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clear the confusion on H4. So my husband has his H1, but as of now, until he has his I-140, I will not be able to work. Is that
Yeah,
still true?
I-140 or the other condition I mentioned, Vinci, I know you were listening. So yes, unless he's mature enough in his green card process, that doesn't help you. So tell him to get moving and file his green card quickly. Okay?
Oh, yeah, he lost his job yesterday. So,
Ouch,
yeah.
ouch, ouch, ouch. I'm sorry.
That
to hear
option is
that.
also gone.
Arre Baba.
But okay, hard luck. Just wanted to be clear about the news that has been circulating.
No, that's very poorly reported. Okay, there's nothing new. Only thing is, it's like having a celebration because I don't know, water is wet. I mean, it was wet yesterday; it will be wet tomorrow. So basically, the challenge was H4EAD program should be cancelled, and the court said, no, get out of here. That's what happened. I wish I was a reporter. Okay. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you.
Gayatri ji, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So this is my last chance of H1 and then it didn't get picked this year as well. But my OPT is starting on Feb, that is next year Feb. But my visa, F1 visa will be expire on December. So my OPT start date is something that I need to consider than my F1 expiry date, right?
Okay, hang on. Gayatri, you are confusing the visa with status. Okay, you have no problem.
Okay.
I'll tell you what the difference is. A visa is a permission by the State Department acting through the consulates to land at a US port of entry. So visa gets you all the way to the airport. That's all it does. Okay. Then at the airport, USCIS decides how long you can, or CBP decides actually. CBP decides how long you can stay in the United States. So when you entered, they probably put on your I-94, how long can you stay I-94? The I-94 should say DS, duration of status. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so does your I-94 say DS? It should.
Okay.
It should. So what you can do is go to the CBP website and download your I-94. Okay. So unless you converted status within USA, your I-94 will be with the CBP. Now, visa is required only if you travel outside USA. If your I-94 says you're good till DS, you can continue on your CPT, your post-completion OPT, another educational program. Visa is not required. Visa will be required only when you travel out. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So no worries.
So when my OPT is expiring on Feb, I can start my D1 CPT from the spring, that is Jan, right?
I lost that question. So your yeah. Go
So
ahead.
my OPT will be expiring on Feb, so I can start my D1 CPT or the other masters from the January, right? That is the new batch that starts in the spring.
Okay, that's something you have to check with the DSO, but I believe if they roll you back onto F1 academic rather than OPT, you've lost your OPT 1 month or whatever. That's not the end of the world.
Okay. Also, along with that, so now I've done my master's in computer science, and I'm thinking I can take a master's or the D1 CPT within the MBA, that is like something product management or project management as such.
Yeah.
So is it good?
Yeah.
And if I take as such, should my job role that I'm currently doing should match with the
No.
No, I can do anything, right? It's just an enhancement to my career.
Exactly.
Showcase as
Well,
that.
let me clarify. That's not a requirement of the law. That's something I suggest.
Okay.
The enhancement, enhancing my career is not a requirement of the law.
Okay. Because yesterday someone, like my manager, asked, like, do you need to do the job that the degree is requiring, kind of. So that was my.
That's for CPT.
Question.
Okay, when you take CPT, then you have to work in your own area of expertise, whatever your degree is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling that only. So currently I'm doing a software engineer role, but then if I take a CPT in MBA or project management or product management side, then my job role is not the same as the degree that I.
You have to check with the DSO whether they consider that to be, for example, if you're a software engineer and you're studying to be a product manager, is it related to technology enough that we can consider that to be a part of the CPT training? But CPT, I misunderstood you. CPT has to be, the CPT job has to be in your area of study.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sagar, go ahead, please.
Hey, Mr. Rajiv, thank you for letting me speak. My question is regarding the H1. So my current employer's H1 was not picked, but it was picked from the another employer, let's say employer B, right? So my question is around: do I need to leave the job from my current employer before a transfer of H1 happens? How does that work?
You do not have to. So let us say that you are on OPT and employer X, you're working for employer X. Employer Y got your H1 approval or H1 lottery. Do you have to join the lottery employer right away? And the answer is no. You do not. You can continue working with another employer as long as the H1B gets filed. You're obliged to join them only on October 1st.
Okay. Yeah. So before October, like up to September, I can work for my current employee. Starting from October 1st, I have to join the new employer, right?
Yes, sir. That's the way I see it. Okay.
I see. Okay, I see. And what if I laid off from my current employer, right? So that doesn't affect the H1 approval process that is being carried out by the employer Y, right?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Actually,
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. 1 second, I just got it pop up from Sumanji from our office that Anna has also joined, who is our supervisor for the non-immigrant visa section. She knows a lot more about the procedures than I do. Ladies, I don't know where you are, There are 300 people. I can't find you. So if you want to just, send me a text message or something, I don't know where you are, so I can't really pull you up. Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll figure this thing out. Kunal, go ahead, please.
Hey, thanks, Rajiv ji. Thanks for letting me ask the question. So I'm currently on my STEM OPT. I'm working for a staffing company, and my F1 OPT, STEM OPT is valid until Feb 2024. My H1B lottery did not get picked through my current employer. However, it got picked through a different staffing company. And when I spoke with the staffing company, they asked me if I can talk to my current staffing company, which is my employer, to basically subcontract that role to them. And I wanted to check if that is legally okay. And then the second question I have here is they're also asking me to sign a 1-year bond with them. I'm not sure if that I wanted to check if this is okay, and should I go ahead with this, or what's my best option here?
No. Look, let's say there are two companies, X and Y. You're working for X. Y won the lottery. Y says, come work for me, but subcontract X's work to me. Okay, I think that's a problem. Why? Because government could conclude that these two companies colluded to increase your chances. Both these companies could be in trouble. So I don't know who is advising them, but I see a real danger here that the two companies could be in trouble and you would lose your lottery. Okay.
As far as I thought so.
Yeah. As far as a bond is concerned, I have written a 30-page article on something called liquidated damages clauses in H1B. They are on that article is on our website. If you go to our website immigration.com and you go to About Us, then About Rajiv, there are my articles. One of them is an article on liquidated damages that tells the companies this is such a bad idea for H1B holders. Don't do it. Can they do it? Sure. Can they win? I don't know. That's a state law issue. Under immigration law, having bonds is a very bad idea. Not for you, but for the company. Okay?
Got it. So should I ask them to get a different client and
yes,
then,
absolutely, absolutely, and give them a copy of my article. Tell their lawyer to read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Rajiv ji.
You're
But
welcome.
if it doesn't work, should I fall back on CPT because I have my valid STEM OPT until
absolutely,
Feb?
Absolutely. You can roll that over to another program. Yes, you can. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Rajiv ji. Thank you.
Good luck, sir. Good luck. Vedanji, go ahead.
Hello. Hello, Rajiv. Thank you for hosting this. So, my question is regarding the O1 visa. And so the specific question is about what is the basic eligibility criteria and
Baba, that's a very long topic. Okay. That is not something I'm going to be able to cover. We have a couple of presentations floating around that talk about O1 in detail. Look at immigration.com frequently asked questions. You should have that there. If you are not able to find that presentation, I will have a link sent to you. Just contact me. I'll have a link sent to you. But also remember, the basic idea is that you're one of the top 10-15% people in your field in the United States. Okay. Or whichever country. If you are coming from India, you are one of the top 10-15% in India in your field. It's a tough get, and it's very difficult to predict for whom it will work. Okay. All we can do is do the best. Basically, there is a quantitative analysis and a qualitative analysis. Quantitatively, you have to meet 3 out of 8 requirements. When you do an EB1A, it's 3 out of 10 requirements. And then there's a qualitative analysis, what is called Kazarian analysis. That was the case in which it was decided we are going to do 2-step analysis. In qualitative, they say, okay, you meet 3 out of 10, then what? That doesn't mean you're one of the top 10%. We're going to look at other things. So that's a purely subjective determination by the USCIS. That's a nutshell. That's what O1 is. But look around. You should be able to find it in our frequently asked questions on immigration.com. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Look around. Take care.
Thank you.
Hanji, Sudeep, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Rajiv.
Good afternoon.
And thanks for picking me up. Rajiv ji, this was my last chance for H1B. I'm on STEM OPT, but it didn't get picked up. And now I'm planning to go for a day one CPT option. My question is something similar to what you answered before. Since my student visa is expiring on August, and suppose I want to visit India and come back, will I have to again apply at American Embassy in Delhi and Bombay and go through the visa interview for F1 so that my F1 get extended?
Sudeep, your visa stamp on the passport has expired or is expiring?
It will expire on August 2023.
Yeah. So if you travel after August, you'll have to go get a visa stamp.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But if you don't travel, then you're okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck. Hanji, Bhargavi. Go ahead, please, Bhargavi. Oh, you can't unmute yourself? Bhargavi, you can unmute yourself, I think. Bhargavi? I don't know what's going on, guys. Let's go to Bhargavi. See if you can unmute yourself. I think you can.
Yes, sir. I just was able to do it. Sorry, browser settings. I have a question, or I really need your advice. Actually, I am already in a mid-management level role in India. I have a career of running for like 13 years. I've tried several times to move to US, like it never happened. This year somehow, I plan to start off my master's course in summer 2023. My F1 visa is just 2 weeks away. But I also resigned to my job just this week. And today I got an information that my H1 application has gone through the lottery.
Wow.
So what do you suggest? Should I go ahead with my master's plan, which is starting in a month?
Hey, Bhargavi, this is an easy question to answer. Okay. When the chances of winning H1B lottery are, 14%, and you have been selected, I would want you to take up the H1B. Now remember, on H1B, you can also study. Okay. So if you have to let go of the school and just go on with the H1B, that's what I would do. Once you come to the United States, you work a little bit and then you want to go back to school. The biggest advantage is, even if you go back to school, you are no longer subject to the lottery. When you come out of school, you directly go to H1B. So you can go from H1B to F1 back to H1B without any problem.
But you think it's a bad idea if I come in with a F1 visa now and then wait and like the 6 months I just still have until October? Is it, you think it's like not a good idea, or will I need to like come back to India for my H1B stamping again?
They can convert you if you come to school on F1 and then they also file an H1B for you. I think that should be okay. Question is, do you have to come back to India? No, they can do a change of status for you. And if you are able to work and go to school at the same time, you can do that as well. Okay. So that's your call. But H1B should be definitely the priority.
Okay. So I don't have to return to USA only to get my H1B stamp. I can just switch there inside.
What you mean is you don't have to return to India to get your H1B. No, you don't.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rajiv, and thank you for this platform again.
You're welcome, Bhargavi. This is the first time I'm doing it. I just discovered it. I didn't know that we had this. So somebody pointed that out to me. I was like, oh, this could work. So yesterday only, or day before yesterday, we decided we'll try this out. I'm happy that we are able to reach people. So yeah, Bhargavi, thanks for your input.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye-bye. Ujjwal, go ahead, please. Ujjwal.
Hello, Rajiv. Thank you. This was also a kind of lottery, getting picked up.
No, absolutely.
So I have two questions. One is for me and one is for my friend. So I'll begin with mine. I got picked up for this year's H1B lottery, but my employer, they filed my birth date 3 days later on the registration. Can that be amended?
If you go to the USCIS lottery page and you read up on their frequently asked questions, they actually tell you that if you made a minor error, such as these 2-3 days off the birth date, Just prepare an explanation to go with the H-1B. I think you'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you for that. And my second question was for my friend. He didn't get, this was his last chance for H-1B and he didn't get picked up. So can his company file directly for a green card on EB2?
Is he India born or she India born?
Yeah, he's an Indian born.
What is the point? Because it would take them 15 years to get work authorization. So if he were born in any country which was not backed up, green card would make sense. Actually, I have an article on this. If you Google my name, Rajiv S. Khanna, Economic Times, I have an article on this, applying directly for green card. Have your friend review it. And they can always come and hang out with us in one of our community conferences. I do one which is audio only on our own conference call every other Thursday. Okay, and we'll probably start doing this one every other Thursday as well. So you'll have 2 Thursdays that you can talk to me, and 1 Friday with UD that you can talk to me. So just come talk to me if there is an issue. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Raju.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Rehan Saab, go ahead, please.
Hey, hi Rajiv. So, sorry. My situation is like my H1B got picked up in this attempt, luckily. But my F1 student visa back in 2019 was rejected once before it got selected. So I just wanted to know whether like I am eligible for this H1B interview or paper Dropbox where you can like skip the interview.
Okay.
Because
so
my
back
visa
up
got
a little bit,
rejected.
Rehan. There are 2 kinds of interview evasions. 2 ways you can get out of interview. One is if you are applying for the same visa category and your visa did not expire for I think 2 years right now. That's the rule. Okay. It used to be 1 year. During COVID, they made it 2 years. So let's say I was on H1B, I had an H1B visa stamp and I'm applying for H1B again. That's one way I can go for Dropbox. The other way is if I'm applying for my home country, I was granted at least one visa of any kind before and I was never denied a visa. If you have had a visa denial, you cannot use this particular facility unless that visa was ultimately granted. So did you, after the denial of the F1, get an F1 approval?
Yeah, I got the F1 approval in my second chance.
You qualify.
So I came to
You
masters.
qualify.
Yeah.
You qualify for Dropbox. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot. That's what I want to know. Yeah, thanks.
Sometimes I wonder how much stuff we carry in our heads, huh? Okay, so Ajita, go ahead, please.
Hi, thank you, Rajiv. So I have 2 questions actually. I'm working here on H1 and I do have my I-140 approved for 2019. I got laid off recently in January layoffs, like tech layoffs. And luckily I did get an opportunity within 60 days, but this opportunity, my salary is lower comparatively. And it's a non-tech field. It's more of a business analyst role and I was more on data engineer BI roles. Does that affect like approval for my H1B? I'm thinking of going ahead with it because that's the only option I have currently, but still.
Okay, let me back you up a little bit. Okay, first of all, what is your degree in?
So I did my engineering in electronics.
Okay.
And then after I came here on H1B through, like I did not do my master's. I came directly here on H1. But I did a PGP in data analytics last year.
Okay. When you say PGP, I don't know what that means. Postgraduate what?
It's more of a diploma.
More of a diploma.
It's more of a diploma.
How many years of experience do you have?
13.
13 years of experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been here about 8 years now.
When did you start working? When you were 7 years old? Okay. So, hang on one second. So I think, look, what is the basic requirement? There were 2 issues that I could see. One was the salary.
Yeah.
That's not an issue.
Yeah.
You can always take a pay cut.
Okay.
That's not a reason to be denied an H1B. The question is your degree / experience / background related to a position of a business analyst? What is a business analyst? A business analyst in 99.9% cases is a systems analyst. What is a systems analyst? Somebody who decides what the requirements are, lays them down, that's kind of the role.
Yeah, that's kind of the role.
So you're qualified for that.
Probably include some SQL stuff and everything, but it's more of a system analysis.
You're qualified for that. I don't see why not. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
And I have a second question.
Go
One
ahead.
more question, please. I'm thinking of going back to India for some time, and like by the end of December. And but once I go back, I don't wanna, like, maybe I will come back in 2-3 years. And I'm not sure. I don't wanna depend just on like having some employer and them sending me back. So my first question is, do I need is there a time criteria for me to get a new H1 when I already have I-140?
Okay. So when you have an I-140 approval, the only drawback you might have is if the dates are current, then you might have trouble getting an H-1B extension. USCIS has become ridiculous in that. I think they're looking for a lawsuit. They're going to get sued on that. But if the priority dates are not current, there's no time limit to when you can come back.
Okay, so I can come back anytime, 2,
Yes,
3
ma'am.
years, 4 years down the line.
Yes, ma'am.
And okay, cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Niyantha, go ahead, please.
Hi Rajiv. So I want to know, my H1 didn't get picked this time, but in case I want to switch employers and there is a second lottery, so how does that work? Do I have to transfer the application or do I have to do a new application?
No. If
I'm
you
really confused.
look, this is the way it works. So if you're talking about this year, if your lottery gets picked up with one employer, whether in the first round or the second round, only that employer can file an H-1B for you. So let's say you filed through employer X and you are showing submitted, which basically means you might come up for the second round. And then you change jobs and went to employer Y. Can employer Y, if you get selected in the second round, file your H-1B? No, because the lottery belongs to the first employer. So they can, even though you're working for employer Y, they can file your H-1B for themselves. Okay?
So in case I switch employers, then in that case, and my lottery gets picked, then in
Only the old employer can
means like-
file. Only the old employer can file the H-1B, not the new employer. They have to file the H-1B. If it gets approved, then the new employer can transfer it. But otherwise, the old employer can only file it, not the new employer.
Okay.
All right?
Got it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Atish, go ahead, please. Atish? Atish, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Sandeep? No, Atish is back. Okay. Atish, go ahead, please. Sandeep, 1 second. Atish, we can't hear you. Make sure you.
Hello.
Can you
hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for picking me up and holding the session. I think someone already asked this question, but I want to reiterate. So this was my last chance at the H-1B lottery. I did not get picked up, and I'm trying to find other ways to stay in the US. So one option I have is the day one CPT, which I think is a lucrative option. And my employer said that they can file a green card directly if you want. I don't know the consequences or is there any flexibility.
The only people who have benefit from direct green card filing are those whose priority dates are not backed up, or who are married to people who were born in a country where priority dates are not backed up. So for example, let's say that you are born in India, but your spouse is born in Nepal. You can take her country of country of birth, and then there's an advantage in filing a green card. Okay. But if both you and your wife are born in India, or you are not married and you are born in India, there's no point in filing a green card as a device to stay in the US and work in the immediate future. 15 years down the line, you might be able to, but not today. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sandeep, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thanks for picking me up.
Sure.
So my question is I got my H-1B approved in for 2017, but for various reasons I couldn't travel. It was only approved, but it was not stamped. So now I'm planning to travel to the US, but I'm not sure whether I can use that previous H1 and transfer it to a new employer, or do I have to go with a new lottery?
Did you get a visa stamp, Sandeep?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I've said this before. There is some argument from the USCIS. They say if you are outside USA and you got an H-1B approval, but you did not get a visa stamp, then you are still subject to the lottery. Okay. I felt that that was an incorrect interpretation of the law. So we filed cases like yours and they were approved. Okay. So be prepared for the government to resist and say, no, you're not entitled to H-1B because you never got a visa stamp. Okay. If you're in the US, you don't have to get visa stamp. You just have to get change of status. Okay. Now, so in my opinion, it is definitely worth trying. Okay. Now.
So I can still try switching to a new employer with a transfer.
Yes. Okay. Now, can the old employer bring you in? And the answer is yes, they can, as long as they can show why there was a delay in your joining and that the project that they were going to have you work on is still available. We've done that for clients where H-1B, a winner, came 2 years after visa stamping. And we just had him carry a letter explaining the circumstances. There was no problem. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Anshul, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thanks for giving this opportunity.
Sure.
My question is more around day one CPT. So I still have one attempt for H1B next year, but my current OPT expires next year, December 10th. And in case I don't get picked next year, and I explore the option for day one CPT, should I join the program before December 10th, or basically in fall next year, or January 2025, that is spring, but I'll lose my OPT status?
So that deals with when you can roll over your admission into a new program. And if you are too late, then you'll have to go outside USA for visa stamping. So that's something you have to coordinate with your DSO. You must join within the time where you don't have to leave USA to get a visa stamp or go get, in other words, there's no gap in your status. So that's not something I can advise you on. And that's a decision you have to make and for the school to make. How much can they defer an admission? Okay.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fatima ji, go ahead, please. Fatima, unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. Hi, Rajiv, sir. Thanks for giving this opportunity. I'm from India and I am on L1A here, and my job is I still have my job, but it is at risk. I just wanted to understand what are the other options for me to stay if not with the current employer. I tried for H1B, but it did not get picked. My I-140 petition preparation process has started, but it is not approved yet.
Okay. So basically, to stay in the United States, you pretty much have the same options as any other person in the United States does, which is you can go to student visa, you can apply for a tourist status within the United States or any other similar status. But for most people, the option, at least Indian people from India, it is either a tourist status or a student status. I cannot think of any other visa unless you are extraordinarily qualified and we can look at O1s. You were an international athlete, we would look at P or O visa. So it all depends upon a particular circumstance. For most people, student and tourist is the way to go. Okay.
Okay. Got it. So having I-140 approved doesn't make any difference. That's what I understood from previous discussions also.
No, it does not. Well, so there is a compelling circumstances EAD that can be applied. If you go to immigration.com and go to my blog entries, we actually have a faceted search. You can actually search my blog on our website, just my blog, and you do compelling circumstances. You will pull up, I have the whole thing explained in a kind of a flow chart. So take a look at it. That is sometimes an option. Okay.
Okay, great. But thanks for this platform. This is really helpful. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Sudhanshu is next. If I can pull him up. Yeah, Sudhanshu, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Yeah, nice talking to you again, Rajiv. I had one question. So earlier you said once your H1B gets approved from an employer, you can transfer to another employer, maybe from October 1st. But then my question was, wouldn't USCIS question that, hey, you are transferring the approved H1 before joining? So isn't that a kind of collusion? Wouldn't they consider that a collusion?
I don't think that's a collusion. They may not like what you've done. But it's not a collusion unless the two companies are talking to each other. You see my point? The collusion has to be between the companies, not you.
Okay. Yeah. No,
so that other gentleman who asked me that question, that other gentleman wanted a project from company A to go to company B.
Okay.
And that's kind of a conversation, right? So that's a little bit different than two completely unrelated companies doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that I remember I had talked to you once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had talked to you once and you said your collusion.
Yeah, collusion is when two companies talk to each other. But if you got an H1B approval through one company and you move to another company and the two companies have no connection with each other, I don't see why that's a problem. The government can also come back and ask you what's going on. But as long as there is no collusion, why would there be a problem? I don't see any issue. The law allows you to do it. Okay? Sudhanshu?
Okay, yeah. Right. And I had one more question. Mm-hmm. So if at all my first company's H1B also gets picked in the second lottery, can I ask them also to, because let's say my second company got picked up and they are filing and I get approved, but my first company also gets picked up in the second lottery by chance in August. So can they also go ahead and file?
Why not? Again, I would have you talk with their lawyers, make sure that there is no implication of any sort of conspiracy between the two companies. But can you file H1B through multiple companies? Sure. By the way, you are making yourself very unpopular here because there are people who didn't even get picked once and they're like, we hate Sudhanshu. But yeah, if you get picked up twice, definitely go for it.
I'm going.
Okay. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Ashutosh, go ahead, please. Ashutosh? Ashutosh?
Yeah, can I speak now?
Yes, sir, you can.
Am I audible? Yeah.
You
okay.
are.
Thank you so much, sir.
One moment, Ashutosh. One moment. Let me make something clear. I had budgeted only 1 hour for this call, but I'm going to continue as long as the system doesn't kick us out. I think the system allows us 3 hours. So I just want to make sure everybody who's here, their questions get answered. Okay, I'm going to do my best. Ashutosh, go ahead, please. You were saying?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for the initiative. I just wanted to ask, I'm on F1 visa currently, and I came last fall. I'm still in the process of job hunt. So when my OPT basically applies, how many days post graduation I do have to find a job and be in the status in United States?
I don't remember. First of all, there's this 60 days, 90 days, total of 150 days, all kinds, some OPT, some STEM OPT. But there is a calculation on how soon you should apply for an OPT, because even the application for OPT has a window. It's either...
Yeah, I think that's 60 days.
Yeah, before completion or after completion. So there's both ways. So obviously, if you have to strike a balance between I have a job and I can't work because I don't have an EAD, and a balance between, well, I have my EAD but I can't find a job. Couple of things you need to remember. first, you're going to have the option now to upgrade any pending case. You should be able to upgrade it to premium processing, number one. Okay. Number two, remember, first year OPT, you only need a 20-hour per week job, and it can be paid or unpaid. So you can talk to a professor and say, look, I'll do some projects for you. Can you give me work for at least 20 hours each week? And you don't have to be paid for it.
Okay.
Got it?
That's good. Yeah, I just have one more question. If you all allow me time, I'll just quickly ask that.
Yep.
My sister, she's currently on F1, but her husband has approved I-140.
Okay.
And she basically is not getting enough credits for her fall semester, so she's planning. She has work experience. She's planning to work for a while, then take up the course in the next semester after break. Is that legally valid on F1 visa she's on?
On F1 visa, she's trying to do what? Sorry.
She's trying to work for a period of time because she's not getting enough credits for next semester to register in the courses. So she's trying to work for a while, then pick up the subjects probably after break of one semester.
Would she work on H4EAD? Is that what you're thinking?
No, she's on F1 currently.
How can she work? Because first of all, to maintain F1, you have to take a full course load. Otherwise, you're out of status. Unless you're in the last semester and you only have like X number of credits remaining, where X is less than a full course load. You have to carry a full course load to be on F1 status. Okay? That won't work.
Okay. I think that's a last semester probably.
Yeah, last semester, yeah. In my last semester, I only had 3 credits left. So I was able to prepare for the bar exam while I took just the 3 credits. I still maintain my F1 status. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Oh, you're welcome. Akanksha ji, go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Rajiv, for answering our questions. So my question is around, I am currently on H1B visa and I want to author a book.
Okay.
And so I have heard, it's a gray area. I have approvals from my employer, but the main question is, what's the legal way I can, take royalties? It's not an employer-employee relationship with the publisher. So any insights on that would be helpful.
I can't think of anything. There used to be actually a USCIS policy, especially for professors and teachers, where if a professor got invited to a conference and they got paid for, some small amount, let's say $1,000, and speaking fees and their travel expenses and stay expenses, that was not considered to be illegal. It was supposed to be a part of their normal work as a professor. But does that, and I have never been able to locate that policy again. So if I were you, one of the things I would do is, and this is a good way, you could actually be helping the community too. I would contact the local congressman, either House of Representative or Senator, and say, look, I'm a student, I live in your area, can you find this out for me? Or I'm an H1B holder, can you find out for me, can I write a book in my own field? Okay. Now that would be a different question than if you were to write a book about, I don't know, a fiction, for example, and you are a software engineer. Okay. That may be a different situation. But if you're writing a book on, I don't know, object-oriented programming, I think that might be okay, but please have this double-checked through a congressman. Because when USCIS responds to a congressman, they do so in writing and or email, and they're kind of stuck with what they say. If you call the USCIS customer service and they give you completely wrong advice, there's not much you can do about it. So go through a congressman's office.
Got you. Because I think the main concern is that it should not jeopardize my H1B. In terms of the IRS, we can, obviously legally pay taxes on what we get. Right?
Yeah, but let's find out. And do drop me a line if they say, yeah, it's okay. Because remember, I told you there used to be an academic activity exception. Does that apply to people, ordinary people like you and I, who are not college professors?
Okay, got you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you so much.
You're welcome. Utsarga, go ahead, please. Utsarga.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for this meeting, as well as hello to all the folks around here.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask a couple of questions with regards to first concurrent H1B. There are very limited resources on the USCIS website, and I just wanted to understand with regards to how much hours are we actually allowed to work. Let's say more than 20 hours.
You shouldn't have asked me that question, Utsarga. I'll get to the rest of it. That's my favorite story of all times. I once had a client for whom I did two concurrent H1Bs, so that he had 3 H1Bs at the same time, all full time. So when I filed the last one, I got an RFE saying this is impossible. How can a person work 3 full-time jobs? There are not enough hours in the day. And I responded to them that his job is unique. He is a very advanced level database administrator. He carries a pager from 3 companies. He's available 24/7, but he works only 2 hours a week probably. He only gets called in if there's a problem. Okay. So how many hours can you work? As many as you want, as many as you possibly could reasonably demonstrate to the government. Next question.
Okay. The other question is like recently, so in May I'll be getting married, and my wife would be coming on student visa for George Washington University.
Oh, my school.
Oh, okay, awesome. So yeah, I really like the university, like top ranking. Even the course that she's going to do is interesting. So, but that's for the different day. What I wanted to ask is like, so I have my green card process already started. It's just that the PWD, the prevailing wage determination, has been filed, but it was filed in December. So I'm expecting maybe a year after December 2022 that it gets approved, and then the next process start. I just wanted to understand that with regards to my marital status changing from single to married, how can I replicate those in all of those forms? Because now I have to go back and change.
You shouldn't need to. Remember, immigration forms have to be correct and true when they are filed. If later on things change, that's okay. You don't have to update anything.
Okay.
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 Good luck.
Okay,
all the future forms will be filed as married, but earlier forms can stay just the way they are. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Good luck.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good luck. You're welcome. By the way, Sumanji, Anna, our office team, anybody who's here, you guys can go ahead. This is going to go on longer than I had anticipated. So please, everybody move on. Go get some work done while I hang out with these folks. Vishak, go ahead, please.
Hey, hi Rajiv. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you for this. So I have a two-part question, one for me and one for my friend. So for the first question is, if your H1B gets picked up in the first chance, but for some reason you didn't go for it, does that affect your selection in the later years?
No.
Does that do anything?
No, it does not. So in other words, if I lose the lottery, does it make me a loser? The answer is no. There's absolutely no issue. Previous loss has no impact on future lottery selections.
Okay. The second question is, if I have a friend who works in legal field in India, and how can she work in US? Because the H1B, from what I know, is only for STEM related courses. So apart from H1B, does she have to go for O1 or L visa? And in case in future she opts for a PhD in United States, after she gets done with PhD, how can she start working here? On what visa basis is that possible?
So I think that question is a little difficult to answer, because one part of it relates to work visas, the other one relates to specifically lawyers, because remember, we need to be licensed in the United States. So if she wants to work in the United States, she has to be first licensed. And to be licensed, all 50 states have different rules. So there is a document, American Bar Association has done up a document that contains the requirements for all 50 states. She has to look around. Usually New York and California bars are the most receptive to foreign lawyers. So you have to read up what the requirements are, fulfill those requirements. If she's able to be licensed, she can go through an H-1B process. Now O-1 is available, but it's only available for some very, very top level people. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Those were all my questions.
Good luck. Good luck. Let's just put you down here, move to listening. I'm having trouble pulling people up. I'm trying Mega allowed to speak and it's just not happening. I don't know what's wrong. Let's try Chirag. Sorry, Mega, I'm trying. Nope. Maybe the system is telling, oh no, Chirag was able to come up, but Mega is not. Chirag, go ahead, please.
Hey, hello, Rajiv ji. Thank you so much for hosting this event.
Of course.
I have a question for a family. It's a little complex. Please bear with me to explain the situation.
All right.
So my brother was working for a company A, for which and his H1B was picked up through a company B, and it's company B is a staffing company, right?
Okay.
The staffing company again contracted his job back to A company where he worked for 5 months, and then now he moved to a different company C, and currently he's in India. He's getting his H1B stamping done. He had his Dropbox appointment, but he got a 221G, and it gave him a request to come for an interview without additional document. So the question is, should he be worried for his H1B stamping will be denied?
So
because he worked for company B and the company B contracted back his role to company A because his role was very important.
Okay, so are you concerned about the lottery problem that we were talking about? Because it looks like the two companies are colluding. Is that what you're talking about?
Kinda, right? Because his H1B did not get picked up from a company A, but his H1B got picked up from company B. But company B contracted his role back to company A, right? That was the first part.
Right.
And now he left company B completely and he's working for company C, for which he's getting his H1B stamping done.
Right, but was the lottery won through company A?
No, the company B.
Company B. So he was working for company A. Lottery got picked up through company B. Company A said, get us the project through company B. No, company B said, get us the project. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that does sound like collusion. Yeah. Would this be denied? That's very difficult for me to predict, Chirag. But I don't think so. I don't think the government is going that deep into these cases. I doubt it. I don't think that would be the problem. That's my guess. Okay.
Okay, because now he is working for company C, which is a full time.
Yeah.
And now there's no issue that is full time, and now he's in India. He's getting his H1B stamped.
I don't think so. I mean, I would be horrified if that were to happen. But of course, we get paid to be paranoid. We want to watch out for every contingency. If there is indeed no collusion, what if the two companies got together after the lottery and there was no collusion? Now that we are stuck in this situation, I would avoid this situation if I can. But if we are stuck in this situation, I would be ready to defend myself, saying that there was no prior agreement. After the lottery, we got together. Nothing wrong with that. You know, the law only says you can't get together before the lottery and make this decision. But after the lottery, we can do anything we want, right? So that's what I would argue.
Yeah.
All right.
And that would be a previous situation, right? Now he's working for company C.
Well, previous situation,
which is again,
if it goes to his lottery selection, even the previous situation can be a problem. But I think it's defensible. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sahil Shetty, go ahead, please, Sahil. Sahil, unmute yourself, Sahil. For some reason, Sahil vanished. Okay. Amaya? Or is it Amia? Oh, people are vanishing. Is that? I don't know why that is happening. Okay, let's try Darpan. I think LinkedIn is still working on this stuff. Darpan, Can you hear me? Darpan, unmute yourself. I wonder if because the time has run out, they're trying to kick us out. Not sure. Darpan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Darpan, go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv. So I had one question. So let's say I'm working with company A and my lottery was picked by company B. So like you had mentioned before, I can continue working with company A until 30th of September, right? And if I have my H1B approved before that for company B, can I leave company A and rejoin them with filing the H1B transfer, like anywhere in October, and then I can rejoin my company A? Or is there any way I can not leave the job with company A and still manage to get the H1B transferred to them?
Okay, so you're working with A, B won the lottery, B got the H1B approved. You can, if the company B is okay with it, you can just transfer your H1B even before October 1st to company A. As long as the company that won the lottery doesn't revoke your H1B before October 1st, you're good to go.
Okay, so after the approval, I can get it transferred if the company B doesn't have a problem with it.
Yes.
Without leaving the company A.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
Good
All
luck.
right, thank you.
You're welcome. Bikramjit ji.
Thanks, Rajiv, for hosting the call and giving us all those great insights. Actually, my joining, my lottery for this year, my lottery didn't get picked up, and I'll be in my post completion OPT for this year. I have a STEM degree, I have MBA and MS both. So there is a STEM extension as well. But right now I'll be on EAD, and my EAD, I applied for EAD and I got an EAD, and it is based on my joining date, which is on June. So I just want to know when the day for the 90-day period starts. This is my first question, and the other question is, can I also reapply for EAD for the earlier date or the later date, what I already have?
Singh Saab, you confused me. Okay, I'm not sure I understand. So, first of all, the 90 days you're talking about, are those the days of unemployment?
No, unemployment, but my joining, I am graduating next month, but my joining is on June 19th, and so in between those days, I'll be not employed.
So the
technically,
days begin when the EAD is approved, right? Before the EAD is approved, there can be no countdown.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first thing.
Okay, so I'm assuming if I'll stay unemployed or if my joining gets delayed or something like that happens, my counter will start after June 19th.
When the EAD gets approved, that's when that's the earliest the countdown can begin.
Oh, so it's when the EAD got approved. Okay.
Yeah, so think about it. Very logical. Think about it this way. You can't work without an EAD. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can't work without EAD, how can they count that against you?
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
That means.
So I have an expiration date on my EAD, which is the 18th of June for the next year.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it is 19th of June. They are counting the days from.
Yes, 19th. Well, you're going to apply for a STEM OPT extension, right?
Yeah, next year. If I did not get picked for H1B.
Okay, so STEM OPT extension gives you, if you timely file it, you can continue working or start working with another employer. I think the grace period is what, 180 days, something like that. So there's a grace period. If you file your OPT extension, STEM OPT extension, you have a grace period to continue working.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So one more question that what I asked is, like, can I reapply for EAD? Like, can I change my EAD for the later date if my company says that I can join later or they delay
No.
my joining. So
No.
since I already know that,
EAD has a deadline. You can file EAD only between certain windows. So you cannot repeat or revise your EAD just because it doesn't suit your needs. So it is what it is. Once you get it approved, that's it.
okay, got it.
Okay.
Thanks a lot
You're
for answering
welcome.
these questions. I was confused, but thanks a lot for
Oh,
this
you're
call.
welcome. You're welcome, sir. Vishwas, go ahead, please. Vishwas के साथ आगे
Hi
बढ़िए.
Rajiv, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a point of information for you before I ask my question. I think someone asked earlier before about getting their course to STEM while they were pursuing it. So I have a friend in SUNY Buffalo pursuing MBA. The course was not a STEM degree, and he has completed 3 semesters, and now he's in 4th semester. And recently in January, it was classified as STEM program, and now he is eligible for STEM OPT
Oh,
extension.
excellent. Yeah, excellent. So you are confirming what we were talking about. Thank you so much.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. And my query is that a friend of mine did not get picked up for 3 years, for H1B for 3 years of OPT, and then she pursued CPT for next 2 years, day 1 CPT, and then wasn't picked up in her last attempt. Now, what are the options for her?
I mean, you know the options as well as I do, which is basically वही O1 वगैरह, unless, you know. Now, one of the things, one of the visas that I like a lot, and I do many cases of that visa. Ankit, mute yourself, please. Ankit, mute yourself. I love the L1A visa. It's such a great visa to go to. So if I were your friend, and maybe it's easier said than done, getting into a multinational company as an executive or managerial level employee for 1 year outside USA will get you the green card within 1.5 to 2 years, maybe even earlier. Okay. It's called EB1C category green card. So I would look at L1 EB1C category if nothing else works out. Try to find a company which can get me a job that can eventually lead me back to the United States. Okay.
Can another another CPT be done after that?
There's no limit to how many CPTs you can do. There's no limit.
But does it have to be that way that you mentioned for one of the cases that OPT can be taken once for masters and not again?
CPT has no such
will there
limit.
be similar case?
Think about it this way, Vishwas.
So multiple CPTs can be taken.
Think about it this way. Can anybody stop you from doing a master's, then another master's, then a PhD, then another master's, then another PhD? It's education. As long as you're paying for it, who can stop you? So curricular practical training is just education.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Ankit, go ahead, please.
Hey Rajiv, thanks for hosting the call. So I'm currently on my H1B, and like my I-140 is filed under IT program management on the computer side. But I wanted to know in the long term, like, can I change my career, or in short term, if I have to transfer to like a different field, like say finance, would I be able to do it? Given like my I-140 would be approved in a different SOC code.
Okay, so that doesn't matter, Ankit. So let me give you my example, right? I have a degree in biology and chemistry, and I have multiple degrees in law. Okay. So if I want to get an H1B as a lawyer, I can. If I want to get an H1B as a research scientist, I can. If my I-140 gets approved as a lawyer, and then I decide to work in the lab, I will still carry the priority date of my approval as a lawyer. So even though my green card is being filed as a scientist, the priority date still gets carried over.
Okay. So in future, like when I move to like a different employer, when they file like the new I-140, do they have to like change the SOC code
That
to
doesn't
like
that
the
doesn't
new?
matter. Though you're getting confused with the details and you're missing the big picture.
Okay.
So the big picture
Okay.
is when you get the I-140 approved and you're going through regular perm processing, the next employer will have to do your perm again. But the priority date will be the same as from the old case.
Got it. Got it. So it's irrespective. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Good luck.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure, my pleasure. Sejal, I have seen you before, haven't I? Go ahead.
Yeah, I had another question from a friend. So he was on F1 visa last year for like most of the majority of the year, and then he converted to H1B after October. So his question was when we look from tax perspective, so would that be considered still like a combination of both, or the
Sejal,
filing would be done
if there is
as an H1B?
one subject in law that I really am very, very poor at, it is tax law. I don't want to give you bad advice. Please get somebody else to give you that advice. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Sorry.
Got it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Teja, go ahead, please. Yeah, you don't want my tax advice. Teja, go ahead.
No, thank you so much.
All right. Teja, are you ignoring me? I don't blame you. Teja, unmute yourself. Unfortunately, I don't think I can unmute you. Nope, I can't. Vishnu, you can go ahead while Teja figures life out. Vishnu, is everybody having the same problem? Oh, no, there he is. Vishnu, go ahead.
No, yeah, sure. I have a different situation here. I mean, it's completely different from other.
Okay.
I'm working on OPT right now.
Okay.
And I supposed to graduate last year.
Okay.
Like May 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But it was my last subject and we were 25. I mean, entire class got F grade, including me.
Okay.
So university told me to just get up my GPA above 3.
Okay.
And as I was on OPT, I cannot be a full-time student. So I took 2 classes on fall last year. I got 2 A's and I have 1 more class in this semester.
Okay.
And I'm graduating May 2023 on 12th of May. But my OPT expires on 15th.
Okay.
And what my DSO said is like I have to apply at least 2 or 3 days ago, like 2 days or 3 days before my OPT expires.
Okay.
But then I need a degree in my hand to get the STEM approved.
Okay.
So they said I can upload there's kind of like unsolicited evidence, something like that.
Yes.
I think I will have I will have a degree by 18th or 19th of May in my hand.
Okay.
So it'll be a week if I apply on 12th.
So, okay, Vishnu, can we back up a little bit? I'm confused. So the question here is, if I understand it correctly, I'm trying to get STEM OPT extension. For whatever reason, the coursework that I already did is not working out, so I had to upgrade the coursework. And now I want to apply for STEM, but my coursework, etc., will be finished only after I apply.
Yeah.
After I apply, right?
Yes.
That's it's a very odd situation. If I were you, I would talk to my DSO because I don't know what the answer is. Your DSO can guide you, and you can actually also call SEVIP directly. Okay. I have called SEVIP a couple, SEVP. So SEVIS is maintained by SEVP. That's the organization. Okay. Just Google SEVIP contact SEVP, contact SEVIP. Call them up and ask them what they suggest. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay. Sure. And DSO said that I can upload professors. Like say if my professor write down me a letter that I'm graduating and there is no hurdles or anything, they said you can upload that. And my DSO is like, he's saying it's 10 days processing time, and if they don't look at your application within that day, like, and then if you upload and then they review your application,
Yeah,
the chances
Vishnu.
are more likely high to.
Vishnu, the problem is government is entitled to disregard any events that happen after you file an application. So if you file an application on the 1st and on the 5th something happens, they can ignore it. But I know for a fact that they have made some accommodations for students in these cases. So I don't know if this will work out for you. That's why I'm suggesting contact SAVIP. You can even call USCIS customer service, see what they say. But really, your go-to guy in this very weird situation is your DSO and nobody else. Okay.
Okay, and for the backup purpose, I took admission in like other university, so I will have CPD from the
Yes.
beginning of my class.
Yeah, so that way you can also get OPT from that course also, because you didn't use your OPT in the first one.
No, I did use. I'm on OPT
Oh,
period right
okay.
now.
Then you'll use STEM OPT for the second one if you get the OPT from them. Well, but you won't unless you're going to the next higher degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So the thing is, if they deny, then I have to stop working and transfer my service to the new school.
Yeah, and just
then
keep
wait
keep
until
with keep with
they.
CPT. Yeah, you have your solution. That's the way to do it. Okay.
All right, and the SEVIP is
VP.
right?
Yeah.
Response Center.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that.
I have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got it. I googled it and
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah. I've
But
talked to
thank you so
them.
much for holding that.
Absolutely. You're welcome, Vishnu, and good luck.
I already texted you, and if anything, I'll keep you posted
Of
or
course.
something like that.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You have a wonderful day. Thanks.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. Abhinay, go ahead, please.
Hi Rajiv ji, thanks for this opportunity. Firstly, I wanted to apologize everyone because a lot of people are going to hate me, I know, because I'm working for a company EA, but my H1 didn't get picked up. But two other companies filed my H1 where both of them luckily picked up. So what should I do now? Should I go ahead with both of them or figure out only one of the employer and go forward with them?
Well, look,
And
if you want to be good to the system, pick one company and get your H1B approval. Okay. That's what I would do. Is it illegal to get two approvals? It isn't, especially if the two companies are completely unrelated. But why don't you just pick the company that you want to stay with and then get your H1B approval? And that way, after October 1st, you can transfer companies anyway, right?
Yeah, and I was in the discussion previously when you were talking about this thing with a couple of other guys. I can still stay with the company until September, and then I don't even need to go to company B or C. Even though if there's my H1 went well, and so I can get transferred it to the company A. Right?
You can go to any company. After October 1st, you can go to A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way to Z. Any company you like.
Okay. Is there anything at least I need to be on their payroll for at least a couple of
No.
months?
No. I have transferred cases without a single pay stub. Guy just worked there 3 days, transferred.
Okay. There is no rule.
No rule.
Okay.
Yeah. Only thing we have to show is that you actually worked for 3 days. And you can do that with time
at
sheets.
least for a day or something.
Well, not even a day. I mean, there's no requirement. You can actually transfer without ever working for the company that sponsored you. There's no law that says that.
Okay, but those guys are investing on me for filing all the H1 and all these things.
That is what that is the way we should look at it. I mean, it's a good faith agreement unless you've signed some documents, but there is no requirement under immigration law that you must have worked there for 3 pay periods or any such thing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So if I'm still working with company A and I go forward with both company B and C, and if both of them get approved, then what are my chances?
Well, it's same.
What are my other options?
I think you are asking me the same question. Only there's 3 variables instead of 2. So it's the same answer.
Okay.
Pick one company, go with them. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Jaspreet, go ahead, please. Jaspreet.
Yeah. Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Rajiv, can you hear me, right?
I
Okay.
can hear you.
Rajiv, so this year was my last chance for this H1B lottery, and my name did not get picked up.
Okay.
So my question is, my EAD is getting expired next year in March 9th, 2024. So will I be getting another chance for the H1B? That is my first question.
Hang on. Let
And
me
my second question is,
get to that one first. So you said your EAD is expiring in March, right?
Yes, March 9th next year. Yeah.
Okay, so the way it works for people whose EAD is expiring before April 1st is this. They actually April 1st for the first round of lotteries. If they can, because you come within the 60-day grace period, I have to think about this for a moment. You definitely don't get work authorization. You don't get gap extension. You may want to consider back to school CPT option. Okay. The other option is to go outside
D1
USA.
CPT.
Yeah, I know that there is a rule that if you have filed for your H1B within 60 days grace period, you can stay, but you can't work. I don't remember exactly how that rule operates. But that is definitely on the books, and I remember using that a couple of times where my guy was having his H1B expire, and because it was before April 1st, they couldn't work, but they could stay till October 1st, something like that. Okay.
Okay, but that sir, when you say you can stay till October 1st, is it that if only if the name gets picked up, or
only if it gets picked up?
The name doesn't get picked up.
If it doesn't, no, not only must it get picked up, they must apply for your H1B actually.
Correct.
So, but it has to be done within 60 days, right? This is the way that's why I'm a little fuzzy on the details. We've used it a few times, but there is a rule like that. So instead of filing the H1B within 90 days, etc., I have to file it within 60 days of March. So I must get picked up and I must file the H1B within that 60-day period, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good luck, Ji. Good luck. Ronak, go ahead, please. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hello, Rajiv.
Hanji, how are you?
I'm very good. So I have a very trivial question actually. I got picked up for H1 last year, and I'm going for stamping next month to India. I qualify for Dropbox. So my passport is expiring on 30th November 2025. However, my visa is available till 30th October 2025. So I have a 1 month extra on my passport. But my lawyer says you need a 6 months extra on your passport. And I checked with Indian passport office and they were saying we cannot renew your passport until it is like 6 month or 1 year period prior to expiry date. Any suggestion? How can I renew my passport before that?
Okay, let's look at this again. I kind of got lost in the jungle of dates, so let's take a look. So I guess the problem is this. The problem is I want to apply for my H1B visa, but my passport is expiring, and the Indian authorities won't renew the passport until there's only 6 months remaining, correct?
Right.
Okay. Do I have a suggestion for this? Let me think about this. I need the visa stamp, and okay. Is it possible for you to go for visa stamping after you get your passport approval extension done? Because you can extend your passport in USA, right?
I never tried it, but I heard that you can do. But my passport still has like 3 valid years on it. So, so 2025 is the timeline.
Okay, so is your concern that they will stamp your passport for less than 3 years? Is that what's bothering you?
No, the thing is my visa is expiring. My H1 visa has a limit till October 2025.
Acha.
and because I got approved last year, so 3-year period generally.
Okay, so
But my passport.
Ronak, I'm
Sorry?
trying to understand your concern. So is your concern that I'm losing time on my H1B?
No. The thing is, the Dropbox appointment has the the guideline that your passport should be 6 months beyond the date of visa limit.
Okay, I wouldn't worry about it, because
Okay.
what can they do if it is not valid for 6 months? They can cut short the visa to the extent of the passport, which is 2025. But you're not losing anything, because your stay in the United States is decided by your I-94, not by the visa. Visa is just to travel. So when you land at the airport, you'll show them the visa stamp and you'll show them the approval notice. They should give you an I-94 coextensive with your approval, not with your visa.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just worried about if I do submit my passport for Dropbox, they might not approve it.
Oh no, they should approve it, because they cannot just deny that it's not valid for 6 months beyond your date of entry. And plenty of people in your situation, what they can do is, and I don't know if they will, you can actually correspond with the consulate. You can send them an email. What they should do is they will give you a visa. I think they should give it all the way to the end of the approval notice, even though the passport is expiring, but I could be wrong on this. They must give it to you anyway, and the most they can do is terminate it coextensive with your passport. What does that do? That gives you the H1 visa, but when you come back and land at the airport, that I-94 should be coextensive with your approval, not with your visa.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it seems like I have all the green flags there.
Okay, but now I'm trying to remember, there was some problems with people in this situation where the passport was expiring before and they would not give them I-94. You should talk to a supervisor. If they try to give you an I-94 not coextensive with your approval, you can tell them, even if I have 1 day remaining on my visa, you are required to give me I-94 all the way to the end of my approval. That's the rule. Okay.
For the I-94, who should I consult with?
Okay, no, but here is one problem though. If the visa is expiring tomorrow, you can still get I-94 for the next 3 years. But what if the passport is expiring tomorrow? So then they might give you an I-94 only till the end of your passport. So when you get the passport renewed, you can take a trip outside USA, come back showing your visa in the old passport as well as your approval. Now they'll give you I-94 all the way to the end of the approval. So what could cause a problem is the premature termination of the passport. They may not be able to give you an I-94 all the way to your approval, but when you come back with the new passport and the old visa on the old passport, they should give you an I-94 all the way. Take a trip to Canada or Mexico and come back and you should be able to renew. I don't think it's a big problem, Ronak. Don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anup, go ahead, please. Anup.
Hi, Rajiv. So thank you so much for extending the time of this conversation. So I have a couple of questions. Right now, I'm on A1 CPT program, and this year my H1B application got picked up in the lottery. Luckily, I have been able to build a good rapport with my company, who is also willing to sponsor the green card. So my question is, should I, based on the wait time for Indian citizens, would it be okay if we initiate the PERM certification process right now?
Okay.
Or should I wait till my H1 status get initiated on 1st October? I go back to India and get my H1B stamped in consulate.
Okay. Did you say you did not get picked up for the lottery this year, Anup?
I did get picked up.
Okay, you did get picked up. All right. So anybody who is not on any precarious status where visa is a problem because you have a green card pending, like F1, H1 has no such issue. So listen up, guys. It is always advantageous to start your green card as quickly as possible. Okay, why? Because once you get your I-140 approval, the priority date becomes yours forever. And if the I-140 stays approved for 180 days, you can keep extending your H1B beyond 6 years with any employer. So that means having a green card approval allows you great freedom. If you change employers, let's say you started your green card in 2023, you got approval in 2024, you moved employers in 2025, and they started your green card, it will still carry the priority date of 2023. That's a huge advantage. They have to do the green card again, but your priority date is yours forever. So the short answer, Anup, start your green card as early as you can.
Okay, so before 1st October, that would be a good thing.
Absolutely no problem.
The
Go for it.
only thing, because my company lawyer, they said that they don't want to initiate it right now because F1 is a non-immigrant visa, but H1 would allow it because
Okay.
it's an immigrant visa.
First of all, tell them ask them, when do you think immigrant intent becomes a problem? The answer is it only becomes a problem when the I-140 is filed. Okay. Before you can file the perm, you have to get the prevailing wage. It takes 7 months. That's not immigrant intent. When you file the perm, that's not immigrant intent. The perm can stay pending easily for 4 to 8 months. That's not immigrant intent. So a year and a half, there is no immigrant intent. Why would you not start right away? Change lawyers. That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Because that's very silly advice. That's an advice given by somebody who's just started work. Okay.
All right. Okay. And my second question is for my elder sister. Would it be okay if she switched job while her I-140 is still pending?
Well, the law does not require you to stay with the company till the I-140 approval to inherit the priority date. There's no requirement that you maintain that job. But what incentive does the employer have to get the I-140 approval? What if there is an RFE after she's gone?
Okay. Okay.
And if
it's a good idea.
If the I-140 is not approved, then she doesn't carry the priority date. So if I were her, I would say premium my case, I'll pay for it and get my date. And then move on.
All right. Thank you so much for your advice, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Good luck. Vibhu Saab. Oh, you're welcome, Anu. Vibhu, go ahead, please.
Hi, Mr. Rajiv. So I actually have almost all my questions answered, but I had this one. I have concerns around getting stamped for day one CPT. Like I had my H1B tries and I wasn't picked. So will there be any issues if we go back to the country and we want to get a new F1 stamp and then re-enter US?
I missed the first part. There was a little disturbance in the line. You said, okay, you want to go get a visa stamp, right? F1 visa stamp.
Yep. Yep, I already have my F1, so I did not get picked for H1. And then if I go for day one CPT, just in any circumstances, I want to have an F1. Yeah.
Yeah. And the government doesn't particularly like CPTs. So are they going to give you a visa again? I don't know the answer to that question. I wouldn't like to challenge that. So if possible, don't go for visa stamping until you get on to H1 itself. Okay? That's what I would do.
Thank you so much. That's all.
You're welcome. Good luck. Keval, go ahead, please. Keval.
Hello, Rajivji. And
Hello,
thank
sir.
you for holding this session.
Of course.
And I have a question here. Like, I am on and my I-114 process, and my wife is on H4, but she had like EB3, she did a I-140 approved. So is there any way she can work or alternative?
Okay. So you are on H1, she's also on H1?
No, she's on H4.
She's on H4. You are on H1?
Yes.
Is your I-140 approved?
No, it's in process, Rajivji.
Okay. Is the I-140 in process or is the perm in process?
No, perm in process. It's a very first stage, actually.
Ouch. Okay. Yeah, so ultimately, the only way she can work is if you come to a advanced enough stage in your green card, typically I-140 approval. Before that, there is no provision. She can keep applying for H1B, lottery every year, I guess, or CPT if she goes to school.
Yeah, but she had like master from India, not here, any master.
She can get a master's from here if she wants, or a PhD.
Oh, okay. And she can get a day one CPT or no?
I went over that. Actually, I'm recording this, so you'll have a recording of this 3-hour session that we are doing.
Okay.
I basically said you have to go into a graduate program. That's how you get day one CPT. Okay.
Okay, Rajesh. Thank you.
Good luck. Raj, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
First of all, thank you for the session.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to ask a question on behalf of my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So she did her course, which was under non-STEM, and she also utilized her OPT now.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's planning to do day one CPT course, which would be a STEM course. So will she get a STEM OPT now? Because the first course was
I am
non-STEM.
actually confused about that. I don't know if I know the answer because remember, one of the requirements for STEM OPT is that you must have OPT first. But if you have already used your OPT, what do you do then? Okay. And the fact of the matter is, if you have not used your STEM OPT first time around, you can use it the second time around. But I still don't know how you get around the problem of having to be on OPT in order to file STEM OPT extension. So Raj Saab, I don't have a good answer for you. Get together with the DSO and see what they suggest. I have no clue.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. And just one more question.
Uh-huh.
So while she was graduating, her course was non-STEM, but the university is planning to make the course as STEM now. So will that be considered as a STEM course for her as well?
What we realized was that if at the has she already graduated? Did she get her degree or she's still
Yes. Yes, she did. She already graduated in last fall.
So your question is, after graduation, if the course gets certified, I don't know the answer to that question. That depends upon the terms of the certification. So if the course is STEM certified backdated to a certain period, that would be my guess. Then anybody who's covered by that period would have STEM. But if the certification says it's STEM certified going forward from this date, then she's not covered.
Oh, got
it. Okay. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, Urvashi, what's up?
Hi, Rajiv. I have a couple of questions. My first question is that my my STEM OPD EAD card is expiring on 23rd of August this year. And my F1 visa is expiring on 16th December this year as well. So if I want to travel outside USA for a duration of a week from last week of May till first week of June, will that be okay? Because I'll have less than 6 months of validity. So will they let me enter the country?
Your visa would still be valid. So visa doesn't have to be valid for 6 months. That was a passport validity issue. So visa doesn't have to be valid for 6 months. That wasn't the issue. My concern would be, you said you're on STEM OPT, right?
Yes.
And you have a job, you've been working all the way through, you have proof that you have all the W-2s and pay stubs, right?
Yes, I do.
Carry a letter from the employer that says, the job is still open and you will have the job when you come back. You're continuing that job. Number 2, get your I-20 endorsed for international travel from your DSO. Number 3, talk with the DSO to see if there are any issues. I think you can travel.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I have another question that this was my last attempt for H1B as well. So I have 2 options right now. One is day 1 CPT that I can pick, and the other option is H4 EAD. So which one would you suggest that I could, pick up to continue my current job?
Okay, so H4 EAD can take a long time to process. You can go with curricular practical training first, and then whenever your husband is getting his H1B extended, amended, or transferred, you can go to H4 EAD, all in premium processing, all in one packet. That way, within a couple of weeks, you got your EAD.
Okay. Perfect.
Good luck.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Sundaram, go ahead, please. Mr. Ramachandran, go ahead. Okay. Pranav?
Hello.
Yep, Pranav, go ahead.
Hello, Rajiv sir. Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
I just had a question regarding a couple options that I have. So my H1B didn't get picked up, and this was my third and final attempt at the company. And I was looking at options. Some you recommended day one CPT as well. I was also looking at H1B cap exempt employers, and I was wondering if that is a good direction to proceed.
Yeah, excellent point. There are so many things I forget to mention because I don't have anything written down. So, yes, H1B cap exempt job, not employer, cap exempt job. Let me explain the difference. So, I'll give you an example. You are a program engineer, so manufacturing, so mechanical engineering or industrial engineering. Okay. So,
yeah, work in program management, yes.
Right. So, let me take an example from your field. Okay. Let's say that you are an expert in putting together medical facilities. Okay, you do all the installation of all their very advanced technical like MRIs and stuff. Okay, you are in charge of those installations as a mechanical engineer. Okay, your employer is a private employer, but they place you to work at, let's say, for example, a government research facility. Okay, so a government research facility is a quota exempt employer. Think about this. You are working for a private employer, but they placed you to work at a quota exempt location. Your job becomes quota exempt because even though your employer is a private employer, subject to the quota, the job that you are doing is supporting the essential function of an exempt organization. The job becomes exempt as long as you're working at their location. So remember that the concept of an exempt job is vaster than an exempt employer. Make sense, or did I lose you?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so that's one thing. Now, is this a good option? Absolutely. It's a great option. And by the way, if you get a quota exempt job, you can concurrently do an H1B for a quota job also without having to go through the lottery, as long as you maintain both jobs.
Okay. And that would mean I'll have to work at both places though. Right?
Yeah, you can reduce the hours at the quota exempt place, even if you go like 20 hours each week, do an amendment of the H1B.
Okay.
That can be done.
Is that H1B different from the H1B cap?
Well, the nature of the H1B is different in that you are still subject to the cap, but because there is a little quirk in the law, you can actually hold a concurrent job with a for-profit employer or a normal employer, even though you were approved as an H1B for a quota exempt employer. So yes, as long as you maintain both jobs, the H1Bs are essentially the same. The nature is different only to the extent that if you wanted to work only for the quota employer, you couldn't until you go through the lottery.
Okay. So if my primary H1B would be the quota exempt employer.
It's not the primary or secondary. That's the one supporting your second job. If you get for example, if you get through the lottery now and you continue concurrent jobs, both, now the only difference is you can actually move around to any employer you want, and you can drop the two jobs or drop the quota exempt job. So
okay,
that's how it works. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tanu, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for extending this session, Rajiv. This year was my last chance for H1B, and unfortunately, it did not get picked. I'm going for day one CPT, and I had a question about the start date of CPT program. So my current EAD ends on 28th of June, and the day one CPT starts on 3rd of August. would that be an issue, or should I talk to the
Is that
DSO?
is that
at
more
the-
than is that? I think you have to be within 30 days, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, talk to the DSO because, but then you have the 60-day grace period at the end of the F1. So this is what I'm thinking. So normally you can remain in the US only if you are within 30 days of your program start, right? But then on the old F1 you have a 60-day grace period to stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should be okay, but student visa rules are so weird. I hate to sound like an authority because I always refer you to the DSO. They are really the authorities. I mean, I can read the regulations, but there's so much that's not written down in the regulations. It's a matter of policy or it's a matter of practice. So check with your DSO. And if they say, well, you're not within 30 days, you can say, but yeah, I have a 60-day grace period, right? At the end of my student status. So that should roll me over. And, I think you'll be okay.
Okay. And then I have a question regarding a job change. And like if a layoff happens, then what would be the options for me during day one CPT if layoff happens? And what if I want to change my job? Is that possible?
Well, first of all, yeah, you can check with the DSO. They will want some paperwork in place. But yes, you should be able to, as long as you are working in your area of major or the course that you are taking, you should be able to change jobs as many times as you like. That's not the problem. And remember, CPT also doesn't have to be paid employment. If you want to volunteer in your own area of expertise, that's perfectly okay in my opinion.
Okay, and in case of layoffs, if in such scenarios, if layoff happens at my company, then how long can I stay unemployed during day one CPT?
Well, you see, think about it this way. You have to maintain a full course load, right? This is the way I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the way I understand. The CPT is tied to a particular course or courses. Okay. So they say, for example, you are data scientist. Let's say that you are in a program of data science and the course that you're working is machine learning. Okay. Let's say you're doing machine learning and you were working at an employer, and that's a 3-credit course, let's say. You were working at an employer. What is the worst that can happen? You may have to drop that course or you may have to substitute with another course or another internship or something. But that's something you'd have to work out with your DSO. So in other words, it's not directly affecting your status, okay? But it could indirectly affect it because you have to complete that course. So what if instead of taking 15 courses, 15 credits, you took 18 credits, 3 being the CPT. That way, even if you get laid off, you still have a full course load. Wouldn't that be enough? Talk with your DSO. I think that would work out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for answering all my questions.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Charita ji, go ahead.
Hi Rajiv, thank you for hosting this session. My question is related to H1B visa. So I currently work full time at my company, but my H1B did not get picked, and but it got picked at another company. So if they were to file and if it gets approved, and if I still want to remain at my current position, can my current company go ahead with transferring the H1B visa process even before October 1st? I think you already answered this, but
Yeah,
I just
I
wanted
did.
to reconfirm.
Yeah, the answer is
So
what I gave, which is basically
yeah.
if the H1B filing company doesn't revoke your H1B before October 1st, the H1B can be transferred before October 1st, as long as the two companies were not talking to each other to set you up for a better position in the lottery.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the way I read
Yeah.
the law. I would have your lawyers do better research and kind of review the law very carefully. I think that's the way it would work.
Okay, so I don't have to technically work at the company where the H1B got approved, but
one
still
thing
my company.
I agree. I mean, that's true. But I worry about only one thing, that why would the company do an H1B for you? Because remember, you're not allowed to pay for it. That would be my
Yeah.
only concern. But as long as they are willing to do it, I don't think it's illegal. I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
that answers my question. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Manoj ji,
Thank
go ahead, please. Manoj?
Hey Rajiv, thanks
Hello.
for hosting this.
You're welcome.
Actually, the thing is, like, I just wanted to know about two things. One is for I'm on right now. I'm on F1 CPT. I just wanted to move it out to F1 OPT on May 15th. So I mean, I will get the EAD card by May. But I'm trying for F2 visa for my spouse. So I got the H1B in the lottery. So I did get picked up. So, but which is the right way? When we can get into her this to get it up in like
See,
which visa I can try? Sure,
Manoj,
or else like
yeah, Manoj, the problem is when you are yourself on if you're doing a second or a third course in the US, consulate may not like it. Okay. I'm not sure that itself is sufficient. I don't think they find out you're on CPT unless they interview you. So, of course, the safest thing to do is to wait until the H1B is selected. On the other hand, if she applies for the F1, she's completely truthful. I'm sorry, F2, and they deny her the F2, does that cause a problem for a future H4? No, I don't think so. As long as she's truthful and honest in her application, she should be fine. So you could try an F2 earlier if you want. It's difficult for me to predict the chances because I don't know the whole history. You can give it a shot. Otherwise, wait for H4. Okay.
Okay. And also the thing is like my passport get get a renewal on next year. So, but the thing is like so until this October I can get the H1, right? Will that be a problem to renewal for my passport? No, right?
Manoj, you lost me there. So if you get selected in the lottery, did you get selected or no, Manoj?
Yes, I selected the lottery.
So you got selected. So now
2024.
your question is, I get my H1B approval. When is your passport expiring?
November, next year November.
Next year November. USCIS should give you an H1 for 3 years. Okay. So I don't think they should withhold it just because your passport is expiring. I don't believe so. But once it is approved, then you can just get your passport extended in the due course. I don't think that should be a problem. You can always check with the consulate, see if your passport can be extended, now rather than waiting for 6 months. So double check with the Indian consulate here. Their procedures might be different than the passport office in India. Okay. I don't know anything about their procedures.
Sure, Rajiv.
Good luck.
Sure, Rajiv. Thanks for
You're welcome.
answering my questions. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Rashmi, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. Thank you for conducting this session.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll explain you the situation. I am on F1 visa and my visa is expiring this year, May. Currently, I'm enrolled into Day 1 CPT, which is going to end by next year, April 26. I haven't gotten H1B picked up yet. My husband is under the green card process where his company is under the recruitment phase. So my concerns are, what if I get visa next year and my courses end by April? In between April to October, what do I do? Also, if I do not get the visa, should I consider myself switching to H4 visa beforehand itself to maintain a legal status in USA?
You're thinking too much. All of this is manageable. It can be managed several different ways. What I would have you do is talk to the lawyers who process the H1B, figure out what is the best way to do. You can file for an H4 to maintain status. If your OPT is expiring before April 1st or after April 1st?
I'm on day one CPT.
Oh, CPT.
Working
So you
on
don't have an
CPT.
OPT. Okay.
Oh,
So you're not entitled to cap
no.
extension. Okay. So that means you should be able to convert to an H4, and worst case scenario, you might have to go and get an H1B visa stamping before you can start working. But you can go to any country around here. You don't have to go to India. So there are so many ways you'll be protected. I'm not that worried about you. You'll be fine. Okay.
Okay.
Anything
Okay,
else?
so I should file for H4 still beforehand?
I don't see any need to do it beforehand because there is. By the way, has your husband filed his green card or no?
Yeah, his company filed and his green card is in the recruitment phase.
Oh yeah, recruitment phase. I forgot that. So by the time you are talking about next April, right? April of 2024.
Next April.
Yeah,
Yes.
by that time he'll have his I-140, right? So he has his I-140. You can bundle your H4 with his H1B, EAD, get your premium processing done. So you have so many options. It's a little too early for me to advise you because there are so many variables. You have several options, including H4.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Sai, go ahead, please. Sai Sudhir, go ahead. Okay, let me bring up somebody else. Let's see. Molly, go ahead, please. Molly Chattaraj. What's happening? Deepika, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hello, ma'am.
Can
Go
you hear
ahead.
me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for hosting this session.
Yes, ma'am.
I actually just had one question regarding my H1B. So the thing is, my H1B was not picked this year. This was my second chance. I'm currently working on my STEM OPT. However, it ends on April 7th, 2024.
Okay.
So if my F1 visa expires this July. My husband has an H1B, but they haven't applied for his GC yet. They might be filing it this year. So I cannot get an H4 EAD. So in this case, what do I do if my H1B does not get picked next year?
We talked about.
Since I would only have those 7 days.
Yeah, we talked about all of that several times. I'll have the recording up for you guys also. But
Okay.
CPT, O1, getting a quota exempt H1B job. So all these are options.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Anything else?
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You
No,
are-
I think that answers my
You're
question.
very
Yeah.
welcome. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Aditya, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. I have two questions, one for myself and one for my friend. So this year I got my H1B approved, and in the approval notice it says that the petition should be filed in Nebraska Service Center, and in the same notice there is a link to USCIS for the addresses and everything. So when I just went to the link, it shows like some graphs and everything, and it shows like if your head office is in Texas, then you should file in Texas Service Center. So I was just confused. I know the lawyer will handle it, but do I need to make them clear that they should file on which service center?
Look, I'll tell you something, Aditya. I always welcome feedback from clients because, look, we are not God. We can all make mistakes and nobody knows everything about everything. Even people who've been practicing like me, immigration law for 30 years, 32 years actually. That doesn't mean that we know everything there is to know. So yeah, I would point it out to the lawyer or to their paralegals and say, well, it looks like this case has to be filed like this. And they should be able to let you know, by the way, the instructions on the USCIS website are binding law. So they're not just written there for decorative purposes. They are binding. So yes, point it out. Why not? Okay.
Okay. And like one of my friend, he this year is it was his last chance for H1B, and his like EAD is expiring next year in 9th of the March.
Okay.
So what he was thinking is if his employer files H1B in the first 8 days next year, then will he be legally happen to stay in USA
Yeah,
until
remember,
the notice is approved?
I just discussed that.
Yeah, I know you quoted, but
Yeah.
I also have information on that. Like I recently reviewed a document or something online. I don't know, remember where, but it was showing that you can stay legally if your
Yeah,
employer
that's
has
what
filed an
that's what
H1B.
I think, because that was the policy. You know where that document is? I think it is in the frequently asked questions given out by ICE to students.
Yeah, some were related to college, and
Yeah.
because in that document it was also written that if it's approved, like if the H1B is picked, then you can go to your college DSO and tell them that my lottery has been picked, and the college can issue. You cannot work, but the college will issue a I-20, which allows you to legally stay till 1st of the October that year,
I don't know if
and you
that
can start
I
working
don't know
from
if that is
October. I don't know.
no, I don't think that's the way it works. But again, Aditya, until I've looked at the actual policy, I don't really, I know there's something out there that should be looked at, but I don't remember exactly what the terms are. All right?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Rohit, go ahead, please.
Hey Rajiv, so this was my second attempt in the H1B lottery and I didn't get picked up. But for the next year, my STEM OPT is getting expired on March 24th. So before the results could come out for the next year. So for that 60 days period, right? That extra 60 days period that is allowed on the STEM OPT, will I be able to stay here in USA?
Yeah, remember, Rohit, I just talked about this a couple of times. I don't remember the policy, but you know what I'll do? Let me go find that frequently asked question. I'll post it for you guys. Okay. If you don't hear from me by Monday, just remind me. Okay.
Sure, I will. And the other thing is that for the D1 CPT, right? If I get into the D1 CPT for the next year from spring semester, let's say from January, because my STEM OPT is getting expired in March. So if I get picked up in the next year lottery, will I be able to get out of that STEM OPT program, or is it going to affect if I get out of that STEM OPT program?
No, if there's no problem if you go from STEM OPT to H1B. I mean, you lose your STEM OPT, but who cares? You've got your H1B, right?
Oh, sorry, not STEM OPT, Day1 CPT.
Day1 CPT again. So the question is, if I terminate my education prematurely, does that look bad? Yeah, it kind of looks bad, but hey, man, if I got my job, I mean, I would rather have you talk to a lawyer before you make a final decision. But generically speaking, I think it's okay. Why not? Okay.
Got it.
Good luck.
Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Karthik, go ahead.
Just give me a sec.
Yeah, Karthik, go ahead. Oh, you were busy. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, of course.
So thanks for hosting this event. It was a very informative session.
Of course.
I had just one question regarding
Karthik,
what I have done.
Yeah, sorry, Karthik, you got cut off. Can you repeat your question from the beginning?
Yes. So what happens to my 401k?
No, Karthik, this time it was even worse.
I'm not sure if that's a question I can ask.
No, this time was a total silence. We couldn't hear anything. So I heard that something about your 401k. What is the rest of the question?
So if I leave United States by any chance, is the 401k will still hold, or I have to withdraw the?
Okay, so this is a tax question more than an immigration question, so I'm not going to be able to answer that for you. Sorry. But here is what I would do if I were you. I would talk to a CPA first. Okay. What happens to the 401ks if I leave? Okay. And by the way, a good source of tax information is IRS itself. You can also call them. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
The other question I have, one last question I have is if I file my H1 through multiple employers,
Mhm.
do I have to like I can work one employer at a time while I am applying for H1B, right? I cannot
Yes. While you're applying for H1B,
be
actually, hang on. One of the questions was, no, wait, Karthik, you are getting actually, you're getting cut off quite a bit, so I can barely understand you. Let, let me just, from what I understood you to ask, for example, if you're on STEM OPT, can you work for two employers? The answer is yes, you can. You have to discuss with the DSO and do paperwork for both employers. So if you are working for both employers and you get an H1B through one of them, or even through another employer, can you continue working with both of them till October 1st? Yes, you can.
Okay.
Any-
Agreed. Makes sense.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Riddhi, go ahead, please. Riddhi.
Yeah. Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for this. I have two questions. The first one is like I got approved in this lottery for the H1B. So I'm planning to do some side curriculum activities, like something related to art or modeling or acting. Does it will affect my H1B later if they're going to pay me not on regular basis but on a contract?
Yeah, that's probably,
And my
that's almost certainly illegal.
okay.
Right?
And secondly, is like if I transfer my H1B going forward to some non-profit organization, like something is there, like I have may find a job, and if I came to know that company is a non-profit organization, does it affect my H1B?
I don't understand that question, Riddhi.
Like means currently I'm on a private company, but if I get lay off in future, or maybe I planning to switch my job, and if I something found the job which is like related to hospital or a banking sector like credit union or something which is tied with government, will it affect my H1B?
So are you saying, is there any advantage in that? Is that what you're asking?
No, not the advantage. The status of the H1B will remain the same or it will change.
So you have an H1B, let's say you win the lottery. You went on to H1B and then you started working in a banking sector. Why should that be a problem? As long as you are qualified for it, you are a data analyst. Why should, I don't understand the problem. Doesn't look like a problem to me.
Okay, so it won't affect, like there's a two category, H1B and H1 for the non-profit organization.
No. You can go from one to the other. For example, let's say you got your H1B lottery. You worked 3 months at an employer. Then you got a job offer from a non-profit. You went to one non-profit research, which is quota exempt. You went to work for a quota exempt organization. Then 6 months later, you want to go back and work for IBM, which is a regular employer. Can you do that? Sure. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Gayatri, you are next.
Yeah, earlier I have a small question. So, you said that if we take on day one CPT, we cannot travel to India. It's kind of risky.
Yeah, I would be. No, it is risky from two perspectives. If you need a visa stamp, it's very risky. Okay, but if you don't need a visa stamp, you have an existing visa, and you are traveling back, then your only risk is the customs and border protection at the airport, which may or may not be a problem, but CPT is always an issue. You never know what's going to happen.
Okay, because I heard from people like, so the second one it is risky if it is masters, but if it is PhD, you will not have the stamping issue, kind of. So, is there any
You
clarity on
know,
that?
Gayatri, I once gave a consultation to somebody whose visa was denied in India in the 4th year of PhD. They denied her a student visa. So I am not so sure that I can give you a good answer to that. So the question is, when we don't know, then we have to make plans according to the most conservative method, which is don't travel.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so so apart from that, is it a good thing that to choose PhD apart from the masters when we are doing the day one CPD? Is there any pros of choosing PhD more than the masters?
Not that I can think of, other than you get a PhD and people call you Dr. Monogana.
Okay, so if not that, I am hearing that it will be in future helpful for the green card or anything. Is it anything as such?
Not really. Just having a PhD does not give you an EB1A or EB1B. There was a law, I think back in 2015, where Congress was trying to make PhD one of the criteria for getting a green card, but that law was never passed. So as of today, there is no particular advantage in having a PhD.
Okay. Yeah, I was just confused on that. So, should I choose this or that? So that's why. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Chirag, go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv. So I recently had my H1B drop off on March 6th, for which I got a 221G appear for interview for May 15th. Is there a way I can get an earlier interview date by emailing the US
No.
travel docs or something like that?
No, because think about it, how many thousands of people want exactly what you want. So unless you
Okay.
have something extraordinary, you're not going to get an earlier date.
Would it help if I got an emergency return to work letter from my company?
Talk to your lawyers. As long as what you're doing is truthful, there is no problem in trying it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Abhideep, go ahead, please.
Hello, thank you, sir, for giving the opportunity. Sir, I had a question. I was recently laid off from my current company, and as a result, now I'll be having the 60-day grace period to get a new job. And there was a news recently that we can, find a job on B1 visa.
Okay,
So I just wanted to know, how can I transition from H1B to B1?
Abhideep, stop. That's utter nonsense. When you listen to the very beginning of this recording, you will know that news is absolutely misstated. Nothing has changed.
Oh, okay.
Nothing has changed. It is what it is. Always was.
Oh, so basically, there is no room for transitioning from H1B to B1.
Yeah, you can go from H1B to, that was always there. There's nothing new there. You can apply for a B1, B2, explaining to the government that you're looking for a position. That will get you about 6 months stay in the United States. But that's not a perfect solution. Okay. So that was always there. There's no change in laws. These people have completely misinterpreted the news. Okay.
Okay. So, sir, that is something to be done through an immigration attorney, or is it something?
Look, that's
also.
There is no job in the world that you cannot learn by doing. By the same token, there's nothing in immigration law that you can't learn by doing and studying and preparing for it. However, you will never be able to do as good a job as somebody who does it for a living. So I'll give you an example.
Of course.
Recently, we upgraded the CAT cable in our local area network. Whatever these guys do, everything I can do. Okay, I can lay cable. I can set up servers. I can set up DHCP. I can set up firewalls. But can I do it as well as they do? Absolutely not. And is their time much cheaper than my time? Absolutely. Okay. So even though you can do certain things yourself, is it a good idea? I probably won't advise it. Get a lawyer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good luck.
Right. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Tarun, go ahead, please, Tarun.
Hey, Rajiv. Hi.
So earlier somebody has mentioned that their application for H1B is still showing as submitted. So I went ahead and checked with my HR and they mentioned that mine shows as submitted too.
Oh, good.
So my question was that if there are 700,000 applications this year and 100,000 get selected, are all the 600K applications going to be in a submitted
No, I don't
status
think so.
or are they going to be?
No, I don't think so. And I'm going to make a guess here, just knowing what their normal procedures are. So what the government does is, okay, we've got 65,000 H1s to give out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have seen last year's statistics and the year before last. 22% people never apply. Okay, so we are going to do 65,000 plus 22% more selections.
Got it.
Okay, that's how they do it. So it's not like they've done 100%. So you are still one of the few. Otherwise, nobody would get rejected, right?
Got it.
Okay.
So I just thought everybody will be on the hold, but I would just want to clarify how many people would be in the submitted
I don't know the
category. So I
exact.
guess it's
I don't know
20%.
the exact numbers, but I think it's good news that if there's a second round of lottery, you still have a chance. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was my question.
You're welcome. Good luck. Teja, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for hosting the session.
Mhm.
And I have a couple of questions. So I wanted to check when we are working in our initial post-completion OPT, is it compulsory that we need to be paid from our employer?
No, it is not. First year of OPT does not
Okay.
have to be paid. It can be 20 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming to the STEM OPT, so is it in STEM OPT we must be compulsorily paid, and we can work for multiple employers, right?
You can be paid. You can work for multiple employers. You have to set it up with the DSO though.
Okay. So is there any limit, like we can work this many number of hours?
I am not aware of any upward limit. There's a downward limit, but there's no upward limit.
Yes, right. So that means like I can work for two different employers for 40 hours each, right?
Yeah,
For a week?
Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, because that was a very huge gray area because my university told me that I can only work 40 hours. I cannot go more than 40.
I don't know of any reason why you should have a upper limit. At least I'm not aware of it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. And also I would like to know, while working here in the US, and is there any way we can legally invest in any other company and be a managing partner while we are on STEM OPT?
No, there isn't. Read the frequently asked questions on immigration.com. I must have answered this question 1100 times. Okay. So read the frequently asked
that's
questions.
it from my side.
Good luck. Vamsi, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for hosting this session and clarifying all our questions. So I'm currently on my third year of STEM OPT, and this is my last attempt at H1. Unfortunately, it didn't get picked through my current full-time employer, that is JP Morgan. But my lottery got picked to another staffing company, say B, for example. Right. So they suggested that I move the current role as a contracting through them, right? And my company, JP Morgan Chase, is willing to do that. Like they haven't colluded before the lottery process or anything as such.
Yeah.
So just wanted to understand the implications and what's your take on that.
Look,
That's part one of the question.
I think that's really up to the JP Morgan Chase lawyers. I would have to talk to both companies. I have said no to companies before when I saw a situation like this. So I really can't comment. I'll have to talk to both companies to understand what they were doing. Okay.
Got it. And the second part of my question is a client letter absolutely needed for submitting a package of H1B to USCIS?
We need to demonstrate that there's a particular project that requires a degree and what the degree of control is. So even though that's not necessarily just a client letter, it can be a contract, job order, etc. So, but we need to establish that there is a project and how it is being handled. Okay.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you so much for answering.
You're welcome. Sneh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi Rajiv. Thank you for hosting and extending this long. So my question is, I'm on H4 visa, living here since more than 1 year, and luckily my lottery got picked up this year. So my change of status from H4 to H1B would be different. Like, would it be treated differently, or it would be same as for others? Like, should I be worried because I'm not working here?
Not at all. Doesn't matter.
Not at all.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much,
Good
Rajiv.
luck. That was an easy one,
Thank you.
Sneh. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Parth? I feel like Christian when I call you Parth. Hey, Parth. Parth, where is Parth? Parth Desai. चलो जी नवदीप कौर जी तुसी आ जाओ. Navdeep?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, Parth, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. So, hi Rajiv.
Hello.
Hi Rajiv, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm graduating from a day one CPT school in this June 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my last chance for the H1B. And my H1B lottery didn't pick up again this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm planning to enroll for my advanced degree in PhD for a different day one CPT school.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, can I able to transfer my service record after the graduation from current school to other school?
In to the best of my knowledge, yes, but double check with the DSOs in both schools. Okay.
For example, I mean my MS is completing on the 16th June, and the PhD program is probably going to start from the July. So
Yeah.
is it okay? I mean,
Yeah,
during the
because
grace
see,
period, is it okay to transfer the service record?
Yeah, Parth, I just discussed that because you have a 60-day grace period, right? So
Yes.
and plus you have to be, you can be here up until 30 days before the start date. So it looks like you should have enough time, but double check with both DSOs. Okay.
Okay. And just additionally, I just want to add something. Will there be any problem on F1 visa renewal stamping from Canada? And since it's going to be my advanced degree.
I think that is a very doubtful proposition. You've been extending your F1 quite a bit. So I don't know the answer to that question. That's just total luck. No idea. Okay.
All right. Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I want to point something out. I was reading the documentation on this audio call. They said it's maximum for like 10 minutes, less 3 hours. So we've been going since 12:30 and it's almost 3.5 hours. If we get cut off, just come to our next conference, which is next Thursday. Okay. So that would be on our personal conference line where we just make sure that we answer everybody's questions. So if we get disconnected, I'm going to try to answer all your questions and stay here with you all the way to the end. But if we get disconnected because of LinkedIn, there's not much I can do. Okay. So Navdeep, are you there? Navdeep Kaur? किधर है बाबियो? Navdeep? Okay, Sahil, go ahead. Sahil Shetty, CS grad student, actively seeking full-time job. Where are you? Hey guys, what's going on? I don't know. Okay, let's try Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao, allowed to speak. Anunay?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey Rajiv, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey Rajiv, I have a question on H1B amendment. So let's say I want to file H1B amendment for, let's say, work location change or my basically title change. So can I file that in premium processing with the intent of slipping in like H4 and H4 ED application?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, sure.
All
Thanks a lot, Rajiv. That's all I wanted to.
Yep. Good luck. Navdeep, Sahil, are you guys available? I guess not. Amia, didn't I just talk to you? Amia Kale, let's bring you up. Amia, go ahead, please.
Hey, Amir. Amir here, Rajiv. Thank you so much for conducting this. Yeah, I tried to speak to you few moments before, but I
Acha.
think it got disconnected for some
No
reason.
problem. What were you asking me?
Hey, so I just have two questions, so it will be quick. One is like I started my OPT this year, like my first year of OPT from 13 Feb. But initially, I started like I filed my EAD card, which starts on 6th Feb.
Mm-hmm.
But I joined the company like 1 week later.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem for like the future?
So
H1B or
your
something?
question is, I am on OPT, and my OPT got approved today, but I joined the company 7 days later, right?
Yeah, like my EAD start date was 6th Feb, but I joined 1 week later.
Well, you have X number of days, right? How much is that? 60 days or 90 days that you can be out of work?
Yeah, I think it's like 90 days.
Yeah, so yeah, no problem. You're fine.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Another question is like more on the work side. So I'm a field engineer right now in a construction firm. But for like my manager told me like for 6 months due to like some scope change, I'm like working in a more like on a construction analytics side, data analysis and all of that. So this year my H1B didn't get picked up, but next year I'm hoping for the best. If it does get picked up, and will that be a problem? Like working in data analysis in a construction firm.
Well, look, data analysis is done at many different levels in many different jobs. You can be a data analyst for a fast food chain. You can be a data analyst for a nuclear engineering company. So there's so many, data is everywhere. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that was just my question because my role may be like a construction analyst, which is like not very common these days in construction.
Actually, the very face of construction is changing. We have so many companies, clients who are doing what is that called? Business management, building management, BMI, is that what it's called? Building information management, BIM, building information management. So
BIM, VDC,
so many things are changing. Right? I mean, that company started with us when they were, I think, 4 employees. Now they have 400 employees, just in a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because BIM has become, so the whole thing is changing. Everything is getting digitized, and so I'm not worried about it. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Vivekanand Anand, go ahead, sir.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hello, sir.
Thanks for conducting this session.
Of course.
Yes, I have one question. So I'm working for employer A currently, and I got my visa stamped for another employer B.
Okay.
So I am yet to join employer B. So can I transfer my visa to employer A?
Okay. So
and will that be a problem with the employer B revoking my visa?
Are you on a lottery? Where are you? What kind of?
No. I got my visa stamped.
So you got your visa stamped. Did you come to USA or are you still in India?
No, I'm in India.
You are in India. So you stayed. You never came to USA, right? When did you get your visa stamped? Which year?
This year. In this March 22nd.
Okay. So the way I see it, you can transfer the H1B and you can travel on the old visa. Okay. So new employer should file a transfer. When the transfer is approved, you can travel with the old visa and new transfer. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
There will not be a problem from my new employer saying that revoking it, right?
Even if the old employer revokes it, that should not affect you at all. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Aditi, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thank you for doing this. So this was my third attempt at H1 and my H1 didn't get picked. And my fiance is back in India and his H1 got picked. So he's going to be able to come here after October. So I wanted to ask you, with the new H4 rule, will we be able to work or would you recommend doing day one and so I can stay here and work?
Boy, he'll come, then he'll apply for a visa and then it takes about a year and a half to get to the point of H4 EAD. So it's your call. I mean, if you're comfortable, just chilling out for a year and a half, then, I mean, obviously you don't need immediate work authorization, but if you need immediate work authorization, then you know what to do.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thanks.
Sai, go ahead, please. Sai. Let me bring up Himani. I'm finding it difficult to bring people up. I hope it's not the system telling me my time is up. Yeah, I cannot bring up people anymore. No? Well, Shubham came up. Sai, can you hear me? Sai?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You have a question, sir? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a question. This is regarding my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So his service was expired due to some reasons on last 2022, and he's still in US. And is there any chance that he can go for the reinstatement or convert his status into the legal status or something?
It's got reinstatement has to be filed within X number of months. I think it's 6 months if I remember correctly. So, and there has to be a reason for it. There has to be a reason for it. So, have him talk to his DSO if there's any hope for reinstatement. Otherwise, he has to go outside and come back in again.
So his DSO is not accepting his application to reinstate. He said that you need to apply for some other college and cross the border, come back to US again.
Then you know what to do. The DSO is not going to do. DSO is pretty much the boss at that point of time, right?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see who's next. Shubham, go ahead, please. Shubham.
Hey, hi Rajiv. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, please.
Awesome. Thank you for hosting this long session. I just have one question for my cousin. Her H1B got picked, and but on the I-797C form, it says that her H1B got picked in the regular cap and not the master's cap. Since she has done her master's here, would it be a problem during filing the H1B and presenting the document to the officer?
Okay. So if somebody gets picked up in bachelor's general cap, is it a problem if they have a master's degree? Is that your question?
Correct. Yeah, she has done her master's here in New York.
That's not a problem. Why should that be a problem?
Okay.
No problem.
And the sub question would be her surname was misspelled on the form. So would she have to get a different document to correct it?
Yeah. So if the mistake is made by the company or the lawyers, then you have to refile the case. Government doesn't usually correct it. You can ask, but they usually don't correct it. But if the mistake was made by the government, they'll correct it, no problem at all.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Molly Chatterjee, keman ache?
Hi, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for today. So you kind of covered a couple of the topics, but I just want to go over it. So my H1B did not get picked up, and it was my last attempt. I'm actually on CPT, like F1 CPT. So I'm probably going to graduate either this December or next spring. Am I able to travel to India not to get stamping essentially because my visa is not expiring till July this year? So if I travel before that, is it a problem?
Well, if the visa has not expired, then the risk of a problem is lesser than if you need a visa stamp. I mean, you could still be grilled at the Customs and Border Protection. But most people have been able to return. You can ask around and see what the community says, but I think the risk is lesser. Okay.
Okay, I see. And then I had a second question. So because my master's is ending soon, eventually, is it recommended that I switch up to a degree level? Like, because if I'm doing my master and doing my MS, would you recommend going up to like a PhD instead of like a second master's in a different field?
Well, that's not something I can answer easily, Molly. First thing I
Okay.
would begin is what matches your career goals better. Are your career goals better served by a PhD or another master's? And that's what should be the defining factor, not what is good for me immigration wise.
Fair enough. That's good. So, if I do suppose start my PhD, because I do kind of want to do that eventually. So, if I wanted to start that next year, I would still be able to apply for H1B through my day one CPT process.
So your question is, if I change my programs, can I still go to an older program? Like if I go from,
So,
go ahead.
okay. So I think so. Right now, my master's is information technology. If I wanted to move up to like a PhD in information technology, but I'm like in a day one CPT school, and I would probably continue my CPT, right, because it's education, as you mentioned. I would still be able to apply for an H1B.
Yes, absolutely.
Correct.
So just because you're in a
Okay.
PhD, they don't tie you up and feed you bread and water. You're still free.
Right.
Okay.
So it doesn't look bad if I'm dropping out of my PhD if it ever comes to
Well, as long as you're not doing it for improper reasons, if you have to change your mind, you
Right.
can. You're not a slave.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good luck.
That helps. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Himani, I'm trying to pull you up. For some reason, you are the only one I'm having trouble pulling up. I tried like 7 or 8 times. I'll keep trying. Otherwise, come and hang out with me next Thursday, okay? We can talk there if I'm not able to pull you up now. I'm still trying. Aisha ji, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good morning, good evening, whatever the time is.
Good
I'm
evening,
an
Harry.
incoming master student.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm an incoming master student actually for the fall 23 semester, and and as an international student, I will be placed in the F1 visa, right? So, my program is a STEM designated program. So, as per the USCIS, I'll have like a 3-year stayback period. Considering my case, if I'm willing to permanently settle in the US, I know the options are very limited. So I know my question may be very juvenile and it may seem very stupid to you, but I will anyways ask. So, what are the options for me, sir? Like if I want to avail a PR, what would be my options?
That's Aisha. That's not a topic I can really address here, because there are so many different answers to that question. And that's really not something you would have to do some preliminary homework. But there are 3 types of options. One is employment business based, second is family based, and third is some kind of political asylum based. So you have to look at these options. But it's this topic is basically you're asking me the entire immigration law pretty much. I can't really answer that question. It's not stupid. It's just very, very, very large topic. What I would suggest is probably the easiest way you can start reading up on this is go to travel.state.gov. Travel.state.gov. Start there. Okay.
All right, sir. All right.
Good luck.
So one more question. People were speaking about O1 visa, which is the extraordinary visa, and right now I don't have any research papers under my name published. I will try for my project to be published, but in case if that doesn't happen, what are the other ways in which I can avail that O1 visa?
I have an hour-long presentation on what an EB1A is. EB1A and O1 are very similar. Go to immigration.com, that's our website, and look at the frequently asked questions. Okay?
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, is it too late for me to start for O1? Am I too late, sir?
Well, O1, EB1As are always a process, but you never know. At least take a look. At least you should know what the parameters are, right?
Yes.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Navdeep Kaur.
Yes, hi Rajiv. Thank you for hosting this great
एक ही
informative
चक्कर है
session.
कुड़िए पहुंचा के मुड़ के आ गई आ की हो रहा
Sorry, मेरा mic काम नहीं से कर रहा है.
कोई बात.
So yeah, I have 2 questions. So first one is like maybe I'm asking like repetitive question. I didn't hear the answer, but my question is like how long I can stay in India? Like suppose like if I have to go to India for my family take care, with and without I-140 approval, how long I can stay in India?
Dekho ji, if you're asking me, let me understand your question. You're saying if my green card is going on, can I in the meantime go and live in India? The answer is there's no limit. You can live as long as you like, but you should talk to your lawyers. They should figure out the details. But remember, green card process does not require you, at least not the PERM, not the I-140. None of this requires you to be in USA. There's no limit.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that makes sense. And one more question I have is like when suppose when we are on H1B parallelly, can we apply for L1B
Yes, you
visa?
can. If you qualify, you can apply for both. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sahil, go ahead. Sahil?
Hello, Rajiv ji. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I had a few questions about the H1B. So my H1B has got picked, and I wanted to ask you regarding the basically, I have heard that on H1B you need to maintain a certain salary range. So I just wanted to ask you about those things if you
Yeah,
could.
I think if you go to my, I keep thinking Instacart, not Instacart, Instagram. If you go to my Instagram page, all my social media is on, if you want my connections, they are on immigration.com homepage. So go to my Instagram, it actually tells you how to calculate what your wages should be.
Okay.
Okay.
And my second question is, since the H1B will be activated from October onwards, so do I still need to maintain that status of salary up till October, or?
No. The salary of the H1B kicks on after you join.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see who was next. Akshay Shah. Shah Saab, go ahead, please.
Hi Raju, thanks for this opportunity. And so my H1 got picked this year, and I'm planning to travel India in May, like mid-May to mid-June for a sister's wedding. So is it safe to travel during that period, because like my visa is expiring next June 2024?
Okay.
So do I need to be like, is it a risk to travel during that period?
You are on OPT right now?
Yes, I am on STEM OPT.
Okay. If you go to immigration.com and go to my blog, you will see about 15th entry is about travel while on OPT or while H1B is pending. That should answer all your questions.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Nikhila, go ahead, please. By the way, Himani, I still couldn't pull up. I'm trying my very best. I don't know what's wrong. Himani is just not pulling up. I've been trying for the last half
Hello,
an hour.
sir.
हाँ जी निखिला जी बोलो.
And thank you so much for taking this initiative and also extending the call beyond hours. I am really glad you conducted this session. Well, I had a question for my friend that so she has a different case. So I want to know about a scenario where the parents are divorced or separated and with a US citizen baby. So what happens if one parent has to leave the country because of the H1B denial, if both parents are on their separate H1B, and one parent has to leave the country because of the H1B denial?
देखो जी
is there any possibility?
Yeah, hang on. There is
a person to
hang on. There is a interplay between domestic relations laws, which is divorce laws, and immigration laws. Obviously, if somebody is on H1B and their H1B doesn't get approved, they can apply for a tourist status and try to stay, and the government might allow and might even extend it because of the family situation. But just because a divorce is pending doesn't mean that you get to stay. You'll have to still ask for some kind of status.
And so in that case, the upper hand, the advantage will always be for the person who is on valid H1B visa, the
Not
parent who is,
necessarily.
and
The only thing is
in
they are able to work and they
case
are
of
able to make money. But let's say that there is some kind of support required, maintenance required. Wouldn't court answer some? That's not my field. You would have to talk with the divorce lawyers and ask them. I don't have a job. This guy should be supporting me, and he should.
but without visa status, the other parent won't be able to stay,
Well, you
right?
can. That's why I said apply for a tourist status, and I think there's a good reason why you're asking for it. So that's what I would do if I were you.
The worry here is it will be for temporary period, like the tourist visa that will
Nikhila
be for
ji,
6 months or so.
Nikhila ji,
Yeah.
I have extended tourist visa for 5 years for people in the right circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, good to know that.
Yeah, don't give up
Yeah.
that easily. I would start with that, and I think this is a very sympathetic case. I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do? So yeah, no, that's what
Yeah.
I would do if I were you. I would go for the tourist. Okay.
Thank you for the suggestion.
You
Really
are
appreciate
very
that.
welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Now I pulled up all the people that we are going to answer questions for. Then no more after that. Ayesha is still there. Guys, sorry, I'll have to leave. But I want to finish the people who are here. But come join me next Thursday in our personal community conference where we don't have any limits. Every other Thursday we do that. And hopefully I'll be doing this more often because I see that people need it. So, Himani, I'm going to go to you first because I was trying to pull you up for so long.
Yes.
Hanji, go ahead.
Hi, Rajiv. I appreciate your patience.
Ji.
So right now I'm on STEM extension and currently in the process of non-profit H1B. So on non-profit H1B, definitely I cannot work for profit company. So is it okay if I apply via consultancy for profit H1B? Would there be any problem?
No, you can't. You are currently, hang on, let me understand this. You're currently on OPT, right? Is that what you said?
STEM extension. My STEM extension will
Acha.
expire in
Acha.
July 2024.
So your question is, can a for-profit company place me to work at a non-profit research company?
No, right now I'm working for a non-profit company and they are in the process of filing my H1B.
Okay.
But once I get that H1B in March 2024, can I apply for profit H1B via consultancy?
You have to go through the lottery. If you haven't gone through the lottery, you have to go through the lottery.
Yeah, but there won't be a problem if I already have a non-profit H1B and I apply for profit.
No problem at all. We do it all the
And
time.
is there any other way rather than applying for via consultancy?
We were talking about that, na? Concurrent H1B kar sakte hain. But it's a very inelegant way to live. We are trying to hold two jobs just because you don't have an H1B.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Okay. I know that Tarun was waiting longer than most people. So Tarun, you go ahead next.
Hey Rajiv, thank you. So yeah, earlier I was talking to you regarding the status of submitted for my H1B application, right?
Right.
And then we also saw that there might be people who are in the non-selected category. So for this year's fiscal 2024 year's updates on the website, it shows that the registrant's online account will now show one of the following statuses. And it shows submitted, selected, denied, and invalid failed payment. So there is no status which shows as not selected.
Yeah.
So
Again, read me again the choices and I'll tell you. There is rejected is the same as not selected. Keep going. What are the choices?
Submitted, selected, denied.
Denied, right?
So denied, it says that multiple registrations were submitted by or on behalf of same registrant for the same beneficiary. If denied as a duplicate registration, so they are denying the case, but not saying not selected for the lottery.
You have got me thinking now. You might be right. I'm going to have to look into it. It's an interesting proposition. I thought they only take a certain percentage of people and they say, okay, these are the ones that are selected. So they'll be shown submitted. Let me take a look at it. Do me a favor. Are you connected with me on LinkedIn?
Yes, I actually dropped a message to
बस
you
ठीक
as
है.
well, and whenever you
Yeah,
get time, just
yeah. I actually right now have about 48 messages in my inbox. So
okay.
over the next few days, I will be answering them all. I'll get to it. I want to look into it. It's an interesting question because, see, we get so busy being lawyers, we forget about all the theoretical issues. So I'll take a look at it. I'll let the community and you know how it works. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing it up to me. Thanks. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's go. I was going to not answer anymore, guys. I definitely no more questions. Okay, this is it. People who are up here, these are the only ones we are doing. Kishore, you go ahead. Kishore.
Yeah, can you hear me, Rajiv?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rajiv. So I have three questions.
Mhm.
So first question is, I was laid off recently on February 28th. I'm in the grace time period. I have just got 1 month of time.
Mhm.
So what are my options to stay here
No tourist
in US?
apply for tourist status. You can do it
So
online कर सकते हो ना form I-539. You can file it even on the 59th day because it's electronic, it gets there right away. I wouldn't say you do it on the 59th day, do it on the 55th day maybe.
no, I have got only 30 days more. So I just want to know, like, I just spoke to an attorney. He just said, like, B2 or B1, it takes like 6 months for
Yeah,
the approval
but
status.
you can stay in the United States while it is pending.
Oh, once I get the receipt, I can stay here, right?
Absolutely.
So I can apply for I-539 form, right?
I-539.
Should I need to file it on by myself or through another attorney?
Well, look, this is not something you necessarily want to win, so you can do it yourself. Just read the instructions. Of course, having a lawyer is better, but I'm sure you can use your money in better things than paying us lawyers.
Okay. So next question is like, um, so if I'm not getting job within the 60 days of time, so if I'm going back to India and I haven't stamped my H1B yet, I just got my H1B picked last October. So in that case, will I be able to reallow if I get a sponsor once I go to India?
Why wouldn't you be able to get an H-1B visa stamp if you have the right sponsor and the right job? Sure.
But I haven't stamped my visa.
That is not required. When you go to India, you'll have to get a visa stamp. You can't come back without it. But there's no visa stamping inside the US.
But they won't. Again, I won't go through the lottery, right? If I'm going back to India without a job.
No, because you already have an H-1B change of status, right? You worked on H-1B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
no,
I
no
can.
problem.
So final question, like, so I can file an I-539 form
Yes.
to continue my stay in US, right?
Yeah. Read the instructions carefully and follow them. Do it electronically. Okay.
So how long will it take for the approval?
I'm not going to answer any more questions, Kishore. I've got to go. You can join me in another conference call. Rest of it you can figure out yourself. It doesn't matter how long it takes. If up to 6 months, whatever time you ask, you can stay in the United States. We'll have to do a separate conversation on this. Gotta go. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So guys, keep it short. Takes me a long time to get tired, but I am getting tired. Ayesha, I'll take you last. I just talked to you. I haven't talked to Vignesh, Ajay, and Bhumi. Let's start with Vignesh.
Hi, Rajiv. Yeah, thank you for hosting the session. So my question is, a part of it was answered by you for one of the questions. So for this Dropbox appointments, right? So my H1 is picked in this lottery, and I just want to know. I'm currently on my F1 Day 1 CPT. So I just want to know that, like, is there a kind of an end date that's been proposed as far as these Dropbox appointments
Yes.
without
Yes.
the H1 interviews? That's
Yes.
like the end of this December 2023?
Yeah,
or
there might be.
Is that right?
Yeah, there might be. So remember, there were two things they did. One was interview waivers. Okay. Which is if you are applying from your home country, you had a previous approval of any visa and you've never had a visa denial. Okay. So that's a different kind of waiver. Then there was Dropbox. If you're applying in the same visa category, H1B has not expired. The visa has not expired for more than 2 years. So they might drop the 2 years back to 1 year, which is what it used to be. But I think the interview waiver for previous visa holders is probably going to stay.
Oh, okay. Okay, probably going to stay beyond December 2023 as well.
Because I know that in the discussions with American Immigration Lawyers Association, State Department appears to have said that they like this program. So we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just to clarify, I mean, in my case, I mean, I was denied an F1 visa earlier, but I was granted the F1 visa the second time.
Yeah, you're fine.
That's the one that I'm currently on, and my H1 has been picked this year.
You're
So
fine.
just wanted to clarify. Yeah. Okay. Sure, Rajiv. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Ajay, go ahead, please. Ajay.
Hey, Rajiv, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Rajiv, for this session, and thanks for extending it. My first question is, I'm in day 1 CPT and my H1B got picked this time. And my course is ending in August and the approval will be in October. So those 2 months, what should be the possible things for me? Should I do one more course, or can I just stay like this, just being graduated, or what do you suggest?
Ajay, I don't quite understand what is going on. Maybe my mind has just become mush. So let's go back to, you are on OPT, right?
No, I'm on day 1 CPT.
Day 1 CPT, okay.
Yes, and August I'm graduating, and my H1B is picked this year, so the approval will be from October, right?
Okay.
So from August till October, I won't have any status. So what should be the bridging gap? Should I do one more course?
So wait. But remember, you have a 60-day grace period, right?
Does cap gap come for
Why not?
day 1 CPT? Because
there's no cap gap.
There's
no cap gap. But there's a 60-day at the end of each F1. So that 60 days should bring you to October, right?
Yes, correct. Definitely, yes.
So you're fine. You're fine, right?
Got it, Rajiv. And then next question is, so I'm working as a full-time employee for a company, but my H1B didn't get through that, but through a different consultancy. And they said we can convert this full-time to a contracting, and then you can work for us. So is that a safe option?
As long as you are not trying to combine the two companies and kind of get around the system. If the consulting company gets you a totally different project, sure, why not? Go for it.
But not the same project?
Not the same. I have problems with that. I think that could be an issue. So discuss it with their lawyers. I have already discussed this issue twice today, so I'm not going to discuss it again.
Okay, Rajiv. Okay. Right. That'll be it. Thanks, Rajiv. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Utsarga, I'm going to have to go to take a leave from that one. I can't continue forever. So let's go to Bhumi. Bhumi, go ahead.
Hi, Rajiv. Thank you so much, first of all, for all your efforts. Really grateful. And I think everyone here agrees. So I am also thinking about the day 1 CPT option. I have completed my master's in US first. So if I take that option, don't we have a limit of 364 days or something specific where we can do the day?
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, Bhumi. Remember, I said that this is like education. Who can stop you from getting educated, right?
Okay.
So I don't know of any limit.
Okay, so we can keep going as long as we are working and studying.
No, as long as you're not working, you are getting credits for the work that you are doing.
Okay.
है ना? So that's the idea. And so think of it as just going to school and learning on the job. That's kind of the way it's supposed to be.
So is it related that the school also has to approve more than certain days? Or
no, I think what happens is, and again, I'm not privy to the inside working of this, how does this work? But I know that a lot of people get full-time CPT, some people get part-time CPT. It depends upon the courses you're taking.
Okay.
Okay.
There is no really limit for us to only work for 364 days or 11 months.
No, I am not. You are thinking maybe OPT, pre-completion OPT, that has limits, but not CPT. CPT is a part of your education.
I see. Okay. So, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye bye. हाँ जी आयशा जी आपसे बात करते हैं व्हाट्सअप
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर अब मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ आप कैसे हो सर
बहुत बढ़िया बताइए
Okay. So, like Bhumi said, considering day one CPT, will be are the rules similar as that of F1, sir? Like 20 hours of work period for for a week.
For CPT, Aisha, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, day one CPT.
Apna, go to my blog, okay? Go to immigration.com, go to my blog, and about 15th or 16th or maybe 17th entry should be about, no, it may be last year actually. I think I did it last year. उसमें आप देखोगे, it tells you all about the CPT program, how it works. Actually, for you, one of the best websites is, write it down. It is
Yes.
DHS is Department of Homeland Security, DHS.studyinthestates.gov. Study in the States, one word. बहुत अच्छी website है. So this is maintained by the Department of Homeland Security. It tells you what the students need to know and even what the DSO needs to know. It actually shows you the screenshots of what DSO does with your paperwork.
Okay, sir.
इसको पढ़ो आप जाके. You will enjoy this site because I think you need to just study a little bit so that you can focus your questions. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my last question: if my F1 is expiring and if I'm willing to continue to work in that very particular organization, so can I convert my F1 to B1 or B2?
You want to do what?
Suppose I'm working in an organization under F1 only, and if my F1 is expiring, so is it a possibility that I can convert and choose to opt for B1 or B2 for my employment, considering that?
That's why I said you need to spend a lot of time doing some basic research. B1 does not allow you to work. It's a misnomer. So you can't work on a B1. Ma'am, I really need to go, and you need to really educate yourself.
Yes,
it's like somebody who is trying to teach a beginner's class from a super advanced class. Very difficult for me to cover these basic topics. ये आपको अपने आप को सिखाना पड़ेगा. So look at the two websites, travel.state.gov, that's one I gave you, and dhs.studyinthestates.gov. ये दो websites आपको बहुत कुछ पढ़ा देंगी. Next time when you come, you'll be teaching me what to do. Okay.
Yes, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. My pleasure. Guys, sorry Kishore bhai, I've got to go. It's good talking to all of you. We'll try to do this more often. I might even make it regular, do it every other Thursday. So, one Thursday we do our own conference, one Thursday we do it for LinkedIn. That's what we will do. I think that's required. Because otherwise it becomes very difficult. I like to talk to people, really get to understand what is going on. This is kind of like a rush job. But so good to see you all. Thank you for being here. See you guys later. Bye-bye.